Paizo people, welcome to Troubles in Otari, our weekly Pathfinder stream where we feature the beginner box and its follow-up adventure, which is called Troubles in Otari. We are here to play Pathfinder for a couple of hours, and I'm not going to do it by myself. I have a couple of friends with me here tonight who are gonna help me tell this story. Did you just try to dab?
I didn't think it would get caught. But then...
It was supposed to be my dab, my private dab for me.
It was my pre-Pathfinder dab.
Yeah.
Can you dab within the frame? Do you have to go like a little mini?
I have to go up. Come over here.
Okay, arm high.
This is for the Paizo people.
This is for the Paizo people now. It's Paizo's dab now. They own it. At the end of last week's episode, I mentioned that because I'm a kind, benevolent, and generous GM, you would all be allowed to ascend. It has nothing to do with the rules of the game and the progress of the story. Everything because I bestowed greater power upon you. Just remember that.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thanks, Jim Jam.
But I would love to kind of go over what does that mean for your characters. Obviously, you're going to get, your numbers are going to go up. You're going to be harder to hit. You're going to make saving throws better. You're going to get more hit points. But I know you guys got some feats and abilities, and I want to talk about those. So let's start with, you know what, Gabe did the dab. So I want to hear what Thee has for level 3. What happened?
So I did get my class boost. Of course I went with Dex because I know who I am as a person. And my level 3 feat that I got is subtle theft. When you successfully steal something, observers, creatures other than the creature you stole from, take a -2 circumstance penalty to their perception DCs to detect the theft.
Nice.
Additionally, if you first created a version, using deception, taking a single palm, an object, or steal action doesn't end your undetected condition, which is huge.
Yep.
Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
a fantastic pick.
Game changer.
Awesome. That is great. Do you want to pick who goes next?
Yeah. Waverly. What you were talking a little bit earlier. I'm excited.
I was talking earlier, yes. I basically can just do a whole lot more healing and more betterer. So keep on dying and getting hit, guys. Don't be cautious. Don't worry at all. Just run on in there, stride boldly forth, because I got your back. I also gained access to level 2 spells. Huzzah! And not just one. I was like, oh, I probably only get one level 2 spell, but no. They're like, not only do you get access to level 2 spells, but you get 2 of them. And I was like,
let's go.
Yes, thank you. I can also use my heal spell as a level 2 spell, which can only just heal you more. So
Yay.
it's gonna be
Get
fun.
wrecked, kids.
Can only because you're now invincible. You are immortals thanks to Waverly. Unless, now just for example, you were to send Waverly alone against a terrible creature that killed her first, then you might be in trouble.
We'll be
Just
fair.
if that were to happen.
We would never do that, Jim. That's not something that doesn't
Nobody
sound
would
like our
send their healer
party.
first.
That doesn't sound like this group of players.
Who goes next, Katie?
I'm picking Gristle.
Gristle.
Hello. So I got real beefy. My hit points got bumped up 10, so now I'm at 47, which is insane. I got a skill increase in one thing, so I picked stealth. I went from untrained to trained. I picked that because I feel like I learned some shit from B.
You've been trying stealth a lot. Like, I feel like it fits the character because you've been trying to practice it more, you know?
Yeah, and I've been doing a lot of follow the expert when we're going through dungeons, so I thought that, that tracks.
That's awesome.
Let's see. I got the feeder skill called bravery, and that makes me become an expert in my will save, so that went from a 5 to a +7 on will saves, which is insane also.
Yeah.
My new feat I picked is intimidating strike. So when I hit on a melee strike, I frighten the person or thing animal. Does that mean a hit that's just, do I have to activate that or that just happens?
I will double check.
Okay, so I wasn't sure.
I'm sure that there is a roll involved. Like there might be you might get a a chance at an intimidation roll to try that.
Okay.
So, intimidating
I think it
strike.
just auto happens because I'm so
Well,
scary.
that's what would that would
Unless-
be definitely incredible. Oh, so it's 2 action. So you take 2 actions.
Okay,
Your
done.
blow not only wounds the creature but also shatters their confidence. Make a melee strike. If you hit and deal damage, it is automatic, but it takes 2 actions. So that's where the balance is. There's no additional roll. It just takes 2 actions.
On top of the hit?
Yeah. So you deal regular damage, and
I use up 2
if,
slots for that.
It's
Okay.
frightened 1 on a regular hit, and then frightened 2 if it's a critical hit. So,
Ooh, dope. I also got the thingy. I don't know what the category this is called. I got the thingy called Assurance.
Right.
I can basically makes me really fucking good at one thing I pick, at one skill. It's an auto success of a 10 plus my proficiency bonus for that skill. So I picked athletics, so I can do sick flips and stuff. So now I am a 10 plus 5 on all athletics things automatically with what I roll.
Yeah. So basically, instead of rolling, you can just be like, I can just do basic tasks. Still the really tough stuff you'll want to roll on, but all of the basic stuff, like you
I can
climb that wall, no problem. You
Jump
can do a
down
pull-up.
ravines with ease, like in episode
Yeah.
1.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good.
Yeah.
I would tell you to pick somebody, but at this point, Inga is our last one. So
Yes.
What does a level 3 wizard look like?
Ingot has been leaning into the abjuration, the abjurist, which is the protection aspect of magic. And so all of his stuff is boosting up his HP and the ability to take damage and things like that. For the general feat, I took toughness as well, just really leaning into it. So he's a beefy boy. For my assurance, I did it with the study of magic in academia. So in my lore academia, I have assurance for that, but he has become an expert in arcana.
Ah, okay. Very cool. Did you also get access to level 2 spells?
Yes.
Do you want to talk about your spells now?
I did. Oh yes, I can cast level 2 spells. And so I would like that to come up organically.
I was going to ask, do you want to talk about them now, or do you just want to cast them and surprise me later?
Yes, second one.
Nice. Sounds good to me. Well, if we're going to learn what those spells are, we're going to have to play some Pathfinder. So I say, now that we know all about these new ultra-powered level 3 characters, we take them out for a drive.
Vroom, vroom.
All right. The half-orc, Yort, finds the slab marked with the Mother of Monsters sigil and grips the stone. It's heavy, but he is very strong. The Mother makes him strong. Veins bulge from the strain, but the stone slab shifts, revealing a staircase into darkness. At the bottom of the staircase, a long hall full of oddly carved pillars. Yort senses something off about the center of the chamber and decides to creep along the outer edge of the room. The Mother's instincts are sharp, and Yort has learned to listen to them. Beyond the pillared chamber, the tomb. Yort raises the Mother's unholy symbol like a ward in front of his face. He was warned that the warrior buried in this long, undisturbed chamber may rest fitfully. The Mother of Monsters nurtures living beasts, but holds no love for the undead. For the first time in years, Yort feels the blooming cold sensation of fear in his gut. He casts his gaze about the chamber, looking for the rat. He just needs the rat, and then he can leave. As his eyes find the prize in a small niche in the wall, he doesn't even notice the reaching darkness extending its long, slithering arm towards him. He doesn't notice until it pierces the place between his shoulder blades, reaching inside him to tear his life from his still beating heart. Yort falls suddenly, dead, before he can even cry out to Lamashtu for aid, and just a few minutes after the light leaves his eyes, Waverly of Sarenrae arrives on Slab Hill and finds the barrow of Karsten Starhands open. You are all standing now at the bottom of the tomb of Karsten Starhands. Thee, you're examining this unholy symbol of Mashtu in the curled hand of a dead half-orc. Some of you are nursing wounds. Even where Waverly's divine power has healed you, the physical hurt, you may find it difficult to shake the psychic wounds of facing the terrible shadow that tore at your soul before it was destroyed by Sarenrae's holy fire. What do you guys do?
I hate this.
This is not our best work. I think as a team, we all came to the incorrect decision to send Waverly in by herself first, which to do diplomacy, which I don't believe I would have ever said to do about a week ago. So let's never do that one again.
Things
Everything-
escalated.
Everything turned out just fine, though.
It very nearly did not, Waverly. Is your name?
Yes. There were a few hiccups, but I think we were able to overcome them.
I mean, the nice thing is that it could have gone badly, but it didn't. I think because we have learned to work together.
There was good communication.
Oh, yes, which is on our list of rules.
You've proven yourself to genuinely be a hero and leader, Gristle.
I wouldn't say that. I feel like throughout our adventures, I was coming from a place that I thought I knew what we were supposed to be doing at every turn, and clearly, with some lessons that we've learned together as a team, I was not making the correct decisions all the time, and I don't know everything there is to know about adventuring. It's kind of a wild place for me to be in right now, mentally.
I think that awareness is what makes you qualified, Gristle.
If anything, I think Waverly is the one who is taking note of our actions and leading us to make better decisions as a group.
Oh,
Our group togetherness may be tested, though. Ingot senses these things are connected, as we mentioned before. This symbol.
And he's gonna look at the symbol near the barrow.
Yeah,
side
the
hill.
the unholy symbol is basically this medallion that is currently. Fee has it. I believe you had taken it from the body of this dead half orc.
Yep.
It looks like basically it looks like an iron medallion in the shape of a snarling monster's face. It's clearly identifiable as a something that a worshipper of Lamashtu would carry, much like Waverly carries a symbol for Sarenrae. So either this was simply a pious person who worshipped Lamashtu, or somebody who actually was sort of a voice of her power, much like Waverly is for Sarenrae. Whatever brought them down here, though, very clearly did not succeed, because the bearer of that symbol now lies dead at Thee's feet.
So wait. Is it safe to assume that the person who was holding, like, this is probably theirs? I guess that's.
Well, I mean, it was in their hand, so yeah. I mean, I guess if you would assume that, then sure, it would make a lot of sense.
And we're still. Are we inside this chamber still? Or did
Yeah,
we
you
come
guys are still right where we picked up from last week, so you're still in that chamber where you fought the shadow.
And there were doors, right, on either side. They've opened?
No, that was the pillared room, had doors on either side. There's no further area to go that you can tell from where you're standing. It looks like this is the end of the tomb.
Got it.
You can be careful. Oh, sorry.
Looking back, are the pillars like still active, or has everything sort of been disabled?
No, it looks like these efforts to destroy that trap by repeatedly blasting it with lightning.
Yeah.
Was
checking.
successful, and it has been. You don't notice anything that looks like it's going to be operable anytime soon.
Are we feeling more powerful now, or after we sleep?
I would say that in terms of regaining any spells, especially, you would definitely need to make daily preparation. So you're basically in the same state that you were when we left off last week until you guys take a rest. I will say, Thee, that you noticed that the half-orc, obviously your eyes were drawn to this unholy symbol, but he does appear to have a couple of other pieces of equipment.
I'm gonna look through it.
Note a particularly fine black leather belt.
Fancy.
from which dangles a pouch.
Ooh. I'm looking inside.
Yep. You find there are 3 black opals in that pouch.
Oh, interesting. Good. I'm gonna take the whole belt and put it on my waist instead.
Sure.
Haha!
This is my belt now.
And then, I mean, you had made you have a pretty solid perception. So I'll say there's also sort of behind the sarcophagus, there's like a gap between the sarcophagus and the wall itself. And you notice that there is like this little niche in the wall, and there is something glittering in there. It's difficult to tell exactly what it is in the shadows, but there's something.
Waverly, you can still heal, correct?
I can still hear? Yes.
No, heal.
Oh, heal. Yes.
Do you know if you can heal a... Never mind, we'll find out. And I'm just gonna reach my hand in.
Sure. You pull out a glittering figurine of pyrite in the shape of a rat. As you're doing that, I also will note that as soon as you put on that belt, the silver buckle begins to glow, and you actually feel sort of a warmth spread throughout your body. Your maximum and current hit points are both increased by 4.
Let's go.
Wow. Good call on the belt.
Oh, I was just being selfish.
Yeah. Let's put on all of these dead people's clothes. Come on, team. You learn something new. Waverly, put it in the book. If we find dead people, take their clothes.
So the smart choice the reasonable choice would be to give this weird rat figurine to Waverly or Ingot, but I'm gonna give it to Gristle.
Why?
Okay.
Because I want to know what Gristle does, because I don't want to touch it anymore.
Are you giving me garbage? What is this, Thee?
I don't know. I found it in a wall, and I don't like it.
It looks like a cool, like, hamster toy.
Wait.
What?
Is it like your dog?
Oh, no, my dog is much more interesting looking than this.
I was actually going to remark that it kind of reminds you a little bit of your dog figurine. It's about the same general size, and there's a little bit of a tingle when you touch it. Obviously, your dog is much more precious to you, and this is but a rat.
His
but
little foot
it does
broke
have
off
a same
last week.
small tingle.
Oh.
It's made of soap. Story for another time. Well, okay, maybe I can. If it is like my dog, then do you want me to turn this on?
Yes.
Okay. I try to activate it the same way that I do with my dog.
Sure. So basically, using the same basic process, you put it on the floor, you concentrate, and the little statuette actually grows just a little bit to be about the size, maybe a little bit smaller than Salmon, and the little statuette begins to move and transforms into an approximation of a giant living rat.
Interesting.
It looks up at you sort of expectantly.
Wow.
Hello, little rat. What's your name? Can you talk? I don't think
It doesn't respond.
Okay. Who wants to name this rat? Who was like a pet rat in this group? I feel like I already have a thing. Fee, what would you like to name this rat? 1, 2, 3, go.
Tilapia.
Tilapia, I love it.
It's like Salmon the dog.
Yeah. Excellent. A strong
Salmon
fish
tilapia.
name for this sturdy rat. All right, Thee, well then, here you go. This little tilapia is yours. I hand Thee the figurine, and I instruct him on how to activate it.
Sure. This figurine isn't quite as long-lasting as the dog, so it can remain in its form. You can activate it once per day, and it will remain living for 1 hour at a time.
Can it do tricks?
No,
Thee?
Gristle's growing on me. Yes. And then I just put it in my shirt. Ta-da!
Big rat.
It's probably like a big...
Yes. Okay, if that's comfortable for you, then
It's
great.
gone.
It's like a hug, but
And get it to the
dirtier.
shirt. Okay.
It sort of does that thing where it like climbs up out of the neck of your shirt, but then like drapes itself around your neck, so it's just sort of like on your shoulders now.
Oh my god. This
Rat
is fashion.
accessory. It's pretty good.
He is like you haven't seen him smile like this probably ever.
Oh, all he wanted was something to love.
No.
Jim Jam, remind me, because in my notes I have that were we looking for coppercat mushrooms, or did we find those mushrooms
You
already?
had found them. You had come to Slab Hill specifically to get those, and when you got here, you found that one of the barrows was open. So the coppercat mushrooms you could easily grab and return those to Magaloy back in Otari.
Well, this was on the way, right? We were going to grab these as a side stop.
This is a little bit of a sidestep. So you had gone to, this was close to Banye's hut, which was, we were making 3 deliveries. First to Magaloy's. Slab Hill was near Banye's, so you guys were like, hey, this is an efficient route to travel. There was one other delivery at the Giant's Wheel.
Right, the lumber
which is sort of
processing.
back on the other side of town, and is the only remaining delivery that you have. And then now there's this new, you were getting those coppercat mushrooms, so you'll want to return those to Magaloy so that she can make her special anti-venom brew.
Perhaps we should return and rest up a bit before heading out on the final delivery.
Yes, on the way out, I believe we should seal this barrow. We don't want anyone else coming down here and reactivating some real spooky ghosts. Are we done searching the room then? Kind of a.
I think so.
Search the room, right?
Yeah, we kind of searched it. I feel like. Yeah.
I think so. Hopefully.
We leave.
Yeah. I would say that Ingot and Gristle could help to move the slab back to block the barrow.
Sure. You exit the barrow without any trouble. That trap is well and truly destroyed, not reactivating in the slightest. And when you get back to the top, I mean, I would say, you helping Gristle out would be no problem, especially with Gristle's assurance. She can easily perform this athletic task without any need for a check.
I let Ingot help so that he feels
well,
like
yeah,
he's
I mean, it's really to make him feel better.
Yeah.
Ingot loosened it for you.
Thank you for opening the pickle jar of bodies, graves. I don't know what this is. The worst jar ever.
Gristle, like you can. It's one of those things where like you can tell when you're carrying something between 2 people. Like you're definitely carrying it, and he's just kind of got his hands on it. Like here we go.
Ingot is helping.
Yes, Ingot, you are helping. All right. Well, let's keep these mushrooms safe, and I grab the reins of my horse. That's definitely still up there waiting for us. Pork chop.
Yeah, pork chop's still around.
Perfect.
After they've put the slab back on, Waverly's just gonna say a little prayer and do a little holy water on top.
Sure. All right, so you perform your little ritual, sort of consecrating the area. Hoping that, because again, this is not the only tomb on Slab Hill. I mean, none of these have been opened in probably centuries, some of them, but there are others, and you kind of hope that none of them contain such restless dead as Karsten Starthands did.
Yeah, I think we don't need to check all of these graves. I'm pretty sure we hit the one super haunted one, and we are donezo for this ghost hunting adventure.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, it would just be looking for trouble to try to start breaking into other ones.
We're not grave
and
robbers.
I imagine with the resources you've already expended for the day, it would be quite dangerous to try something like that. So were you going to head back to complete your delivery to Magaloy, or did you just want to go back home and sort of deal with all of that tomorrow?
I think we could use a little rest. Most of us almost died, and it was a little touch and go there for a bit.
Again, sorry, Waverly.
Yeah, that's our bad, seriously. Oof.
No, that's okay. I'm actually feeling quite fine.
Oh, that might be a placebo.
We have.
Yes,
We have no clue necessarily. What exactly killed that orc in the corner, do we?
I imagine it was the things that attacked us.
I would think that, but there was also an open crypt. And do we think they let them out and then went down there and then it killed them down there?
You do have a point.
Otherwise, it's still out there?
You know what? Never mind.
We closed the hole, so I feel like that was something good we did.
Yes. Yes.
Jim, can I look and see if there are any other footsteps like leading up and out and away that aren't ours?
Ghostly footsteps?
Sure, yeah, you can make a survival check. Anybody can, to see if like there might be anything else that had come out of there at any time soon.
19.
Ooh.
19.
15.
Yeah, I mean, going through everything, you're pretty confident that the only other sign of recent passage were those footsteps that led you down into that barrow. And you're also fairly confident that there's definitely there's nothing in the area that's like, here's like a clawed Tyrannosaurus Rex footprint or something like that. So, like, you don't have any reason to suspect that there is some other kind of, like, horrible creature that has come out of there. You would guess that was the extent of it.
Cool.
And you had, I remember from last week, you had actually passed your religion check to identify the shadow. So you would know, too, like, a creature like that would not have been able to come out of there during the day. It would have, if it were going to leave, like exit that space, it would have had to wait for nightfall. In the sunlight, a shadow is either destroyed or severely weakened.
I do think we managed to ensure the fact that nothing would come out of there. But I do have questions still. The orc in the corner, like you mentioned, why? Why did they open this crypt? Why this one specifically?
I mean, it makes sense if that is the mother of monsters. Why else would a baby dragon be underneath Otari? Because for a baby to be there, it has to have been an egg.
Indeed.
And Inga, you mentioned the symbol. Maybe you mentioned this to camera. On the body was the same as the one in the dragon, baby dragon area.
Oh yes.
The symbol of Lamashtu.
Yes, Lamashtu. So, do we know anything about the group that worships Lamashtu? Are they trying to just bring Lamashtu back? Do they need to kill a certain amount of people or things to get it? What do they desire?
Lamashtu is the mother of monsters, which would explain the odd behavior of a dragon or the stinkweed shamblers. If creatures would worship Lamashtu, but mostly it's non-sentient monsters.
Anybody who wants can try a religion check to see if there's any other deeper knowledge of the...
I just rolled one. I got a 23.
Oh yeah. All right, cool. So, what Inget was saying is true. Lamashtu is typically worshipped, not typically by humans, other sort of monstrous races like gnolls and hobgoblins tend to be the ones that gravitate towards Lamashtu's worship. She is incredibly unfriendly with all other religions. Like, almost every other deity is her enemy, even other evil deities. Like, she doesn't get along with anybody. Her worshippers typically revel in the destruction and perversion of things that are considered beautiful. Perhaps if there's some kind of resurgence of worship of Lamashtu in the area, perhaps the destruction of a sort of civilized area like Otari somehow suits and pleases her, or that's a possibility, but even that seems a little far-fetched. But even still, regardless of the motives, a cult, if there is something like a cult of Lamashtu in the area, it certainly presents a threat to the general day-to-day goings on of people, and the increase in monster activity is certainly something that you could attribute. Another facet, actually, now that you're thinking back to some of the conversations you had with the kobolds and their motives in the area, you know that she tends to be sort of a patron or matron figure to societies that are downtrodden. Someone like kobolds, who their society is sort of shunned and pushed aside, she is sort of somebody that they would gravitate towards to sort of rise up, kill all the humans in the area, which is something the kobolds talked about a lot, and sort of like, now this is ours. You know, that's something that Lamashtu would love to see happen.
Do you tell us this, Waverly?
Yes, all of it.
Imagine we're like walking and talking.
Yeah, we're probably like walking and
Yeah.
Sure.
we fade and then we fade back and I'm still talking.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe because we're heading back to our headquarters to do a rest before delivering the mushrooms. Okay. Well, if we find any more signs that people are worshiping, people or creatures or monsters are worshiping Lamashtu, we need to destroy it. Every time we've seen this symbol, it spells destruction for this town. I will not stand for it.
Perhaps we could tell people we are monster hunters that could lead to other jobs of people in distress.
Are you brainstorming a new name for our group? Because I kind of like that one.
We haven't had one yet.
We're still working on it.
And hunters doesn't necessarily mean we have to kill them.
We're searching. We're solving mysteries even about monsters. That's excellent. Yes, I like that.
But most of all, we're helping the innocent people of this town.
Monster hunting and healing.
And helping.
And helping.
Hunting,
You could market
healing, and helping.
Market it as a monster removal service.
Aha. But yeah, I think as we filter into our respective areas,
Sure.
Ingrid is going to be mulling this over and pulling out his crystals and things like that, and going over his spells.
Sure, yeah. You guys at this point have sort of reached the headquarters, giving yourselves time to sort of split off from one another and rest, recover. It's been, it's really probably only about 3 p.m, but boy, has it been a day.
Ooh, can we talk about how we level up in story mode?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I love that kind of thing. Yeah.
So I think
feel like to level up.
During my break, I'm just doing like a lot of stretching. I'm just focusing on stretching because I want to be more stealthy like V. I got pretty wrecked a couple of times during this little adventure, and I feel like I'm very sore. And then my stretching, which Michelle, the player, as an adult, realized that if you don't do that like every other day, your body's gonna just fall apart. And that's why my athletics went way up, because I'm more flexible, I think.
Nice.
Yeah, that's one thing. And I guess maybe I'm like having a lot of protein shakes, and that's why my hit points went up.
You gotta get those protein shakes.
They're like a fish blend, pack full of vitamin C, calcium, one of those things.
I know what you mean.
The good
Oh,
stuff.
fish
I don't know
oil?
what- Yeah, like fish oil.
Yes,
Yeah.
and my hair is glistening because of the fish oil. The skin looks great.
I'm realizing that Thea and Gristle are probably rubbing off on each other, because Gristle is trying to sneak, and like there's probably one moment when Gristle is sneaking around that you see Thea just talking to the like little rat statue, like, okay, Tilapia, we are going to make friends and we're going to be helpful. And it's not even like he's turning it into the rat, he's talking specifically to the statue itself. And then like he'll do like a flip and then like, okay, you do it. Okay, you know what? You can't do it now, but when you're good, when you're ready, when you're not when you're a rat. And then he's like he's practicing his acrobatics and his wordplay, which is probably why those ones are gonna go up the most. But like specifically, it's seeing Gristle leaning off on Thea, and then him like the hit points increasing because he's trying to be more durable to stick out, like to keep up with Gristle.
Yeah, and Ingot has retreated into his like mind palace with his crystals, and he's reflecting on not only the time that he couldn't save Waverly, but also back when he was turned to stone from the basilisk, and reflecting on what that felt like to be one with stone. And as he is in perfect stillness, if you were to look close, you could see his skin sort of crystallize a little bit as bits of magic are sort of reinforcing his toughness.
Nice.
Ooh.
I had to imagine that was such a different experience for Ingot to actually
Right.
become stone, like in a way, like terrifying, but maybe for him, there's like an almost like
Oh, that's what that's like.
positive aspect to it.
Yeah, like Inge was able to
you
like touch his
understand
god.
it more because you
Exactly. I imagine that this is a lot of like if you were to ping one of the crystals, there was a resonance that would reverberate throughout the stone floor and then up through Ingot as well.
Yeah. Very cool.
Um,
Waverly. I wanted to say
Waverly.
one thing. I wanted to,
Yes.
but before you get going, as you're like, in your room and you, because you remember when the shadow was reaching into you and it very nearly killed you. I mean, it was an overwhelming surge of negative energy.
Oh no.
And when that happened, I mean, you fell unconscious, but your friend noticed like your skin became very pale and sunken and your eyes, you basically just these huge black rings around your eyes, your hair losing most of its color. And that experience, even though you survived it, you came so close to death and so close to having your essence drained away. And basically, like, as you're sort of like washing your face in this bowl of water and you look at your reflection, you notice that there is this big streak of white in your hair that even after like restoring yourself and calling upon Sarenrae to sort of revitalize you, like there's still just this now platinum white streak of hair that doesn't seem to have gone away. It's so
Cool. I'm gonna have to buy one on Amazon this week.
Katie, no.
Man, that's awesome. I'm gonna be like Rogue. All right. So after being a little terrified at the hair that won't go back, Waverly remembers that in her bag all along, because she likes to carry a lot of books with her. She likes to always be learning when she's not writing or taking notes. So she realizes that she finally has time to finish the copy of the Arts of Advanced Magical Medicine that is in her bag. And so she finally finishes it and has just completed it. And so her knowledge of medicine is just so much better, so much greater because of that, and she feels very confident in her medical abilities, having finished the book finally.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, if there is nothing else that you guys wanted to do before heading off to sleep, the nights are, I mean, you're safe snuggled in your own beds, which is probably a great relief after the trials of the day. You wake up the next morning feeling a lot better,
Stronger.
Ingot way more in tune, finally understanding the last few bits of incantation he couldn't quite get right before unlocking new spells. Waverly, whether it's because of your new confidence or because your experience with the shadow somehow actually brought you closer to Sarenrae, you find it easier to call upon her powers, and you find an expanded depth of power when you commit to your morning prayers. The rest of you feeling much better, actions committed more readily to muscle memory, tougher, the scars providing a little bit more character to each of you. You still have, despite the fact that there's the worry of the cult of Lamashtu, it is just another day of work. You do have a couple of chores, sort of, to finish up. So what do you do?
Load up the horse and
These mushrooms are starting to smell.
Oh yes, we must take those immediately.
Should we taste one?
do we have extra?
I did
I just
grab
been, like-
quite a few.
It's been like lick it.
Well, wait a second. Let me do a quick check to make sure that they're not poisonous first.
If you lick it, you
Look
keep
at
it. You don't put
us.
it back in the bag.
That's gonna be a 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 23.
23. They wouldn't make you sick or anything, but these are not cooking mush. Like, it'll have an extremely bitter taste, and he's unlikely to enjoy the experience if he eats one, but it won't harm him.
Well, I've discovered that they're not going to hurt you, but
I don't want them.
they will not taste good.
Well, anyway, that's one more mushroom that the whatever her name lady can make. The druid can make you a potion for poison. That's why we're doing this. Okay.
Yes, she has an enhanced antidote formula that she's been working on that she needs these for. So.
And yeah, Thief. If actually everyone, if we didn't know this was a rule in the headquarters, if you lick something in the kitchen, that's yours. You don't put it back where it was and let someone else eat that. Inget, don't look so surprised. This is a new rule for you. This is bothering me.
Inget's gonna just disappear for a second, and then come back.
Are you holding food?
Nope.
Are your pockets bulging?
They're just all in his mouth.
I see. Ah, yes. I see that with
Does
my...
that rule only apply to food?
Don't lick the furniture or anything. What are you three licking in the house?
It's a valid sense.
Well, I do think we should get these coppercat mushrooms over to them, and we do have another task. We do have a one more delivery that we need to do, and that is to go to the Giant's Wheel.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Yes.
The Giant's Wheel is sort of on the far side of Otari from where all your travels the previous day had taken you. So you make your way into the city, or the town. It's not really a city, but you make your way into the town proper. You find Magaloy's, which you had visited just yesterday. She's excited to see. She seems a little bit relieved to see you. I mean, when you didn't return yesterday, she was like, "Oh, I was worried that maybe you'd gotten lost or something had happened. I know that things have been kind of crazy around here. I was the city, the town guard. They were talking all about a kobold army marching through the woods, and I thought to myself, oh goodness, what's happening? But it's fine. You're here. You're safe. And I see you have a whole bunch of coppercat mushroom, which is fantastic. As promised, it's going to take me, the day to brew my batch of special antivenom. But you return in the morning, and there's one for each of you that I will set aside.
That is so very kind of you.
And
You mentioned an army of kobolds marching through the forest, because this is news to us.
Yeah, there was something that some of the constables were running around, and they were talking about they had to go stop an army of kobolds, and we were all very concerned. They kept telling us to stay indoors, and this was official, official monster hunter business, and we all were kind of worried for a minute, but I mean, I guess it all turned out all right.
Yep, definitely, probably. They are gonna take care of that, and it's gonna be fine. Never mind. Thank you for the information. We'll see you in the morning. I'm like pushing everyone out the door.
But wait, that was...
Hey, I don't know if this is just all the adventure that's happening. I completely forgot that happened. Do you think they found them? Do you think they're gonna be okay?
Oh, I
Perhaps we
think
can-
they're fine.
Yes? You think so?
Positive.
There was only
Okay.
6 kobolds? I mean,
3.
3? Wow, I really don't remember. Okay, well, maybe we should check in with the constables later.
No, Thee said that he was absolutely positive that they were fine.
Oh.
Yeah, I told them to run away.
Oh, well, that's good of you, but hopefully that doesn't come back to haunt us later.
No. They are...
What does it mean?
They did say, we'll come back stronger. Or
Well, that's not what we want to hear.
I'm not going to lie to you, at least. It's just-
Good communication.
I just mean that maybe you should have told us that they're going to strengthen our numbers for revenge against probably the 4 of us specifically, because they know all of our faces.
Oh, no. I told them a group of other adventurers killed their baby dragon.
Oh, good.
Oh. But that's not true. It was definitely us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't lie
that.
to all of you. I lie to them.
Oh, well, that's not very good.
Do you think
no.
they'll figure it out because there's only one band of adventurers in this town, and it's us?
Man,
Or that they'll kill 4 innocent people who look like a bad party?
They only know of 3 adventurers.
3.
Yes, of course. And the healer.
Yes.
All right, never mind. Okay, just this is a thing that we'll never talk about again, but keep it on the back burner.
The giant's wheel?
Yes, she's like lifting this like rattling metal package in her hand. Yes, we must deliver this. Whatever it is.
To the wheel.
To the wheel. And Gristle, let me just assure you that if there's one thing that Pathfinder has taught me, is that there are never negative consequences for the rash actions of adventurers. So you do not have to worry about any of your actions or your allies' actions coming back later to haunt you.
Cool.
Oh, no.
Only 3 episodes to get that settled in. So.
All right. So as I had mentioned, the Giant's Wheel is a little bit outside of Otari, and you have to go back on the Granary Road, but you're actually traveling on the opposite side. Basically, you go through Otari onto the to the eastern side of town, and moving on the opposite way up the Granary Road. And it should be a relatively simple and pleasant journey. You can actually sort of see this giant lumber mill, which is what the Giant's Wheel is, from the town. I mean, it's distant, but you can really see it. I mean, it's a huge, major it's one of the only major industrial sites really in all of Otari. It's certainly the biggest employer, and the biggest lumber is the biggest sort of export in the town. As you're moving, however, you walk past a farmstead that catches your eye, because the fence around the small cornfield looks like it has been recently burned and ready to crumble. And that, I mean, sure, maybe there was a brush fire or something. However, in the middle of this field, just beyond the fence, you catch sight of the smoking corpses of a cow and 2 pigs that are just lying there, and they're still smoking. Like, you can see they've been just charred to a crisp, and they're just lying there. And they've been mostly torn apart. I mean, what little flesh remains on their bones is charred, but a lot like these bodies have been like ripped open as if they've been eaten.
Oh.
You don't see anyone nearby, and this is in sort of, these are prime working hours if you're on a farm, and you don't see anyone in the fields or near the farmhouse.
And this is outside of the Giant's Wheel,
Yeah,
area?
you guys haven't. You guys are basically like on the road towards the Giant's Wheel, and you haven't quite gotten there yet. And you're passing this farmstead that this catches your eye, and the little hairs in the back of your neck go up.
We must see if there's anyone still at this farm who needs our help.
Oh, yes.
It looks super bad.
I can't imagine what creature could do this.
Ingot could. This looks like maybe dragon.
Baby dragon?
Another one.
Fire, burning, claws.
Oh, no.
Do we know of any other monsters beasts that use claws and fire?
Could I make a survival check?
I would allow Arcana would be great.
Oh, okay.
Nature would be great. Occultism, because those are sort of how you identify monsters. So anybody who's got any of those skills trained, you can make a check.
Have occultism.
And I'm an expert in Arcana now.
Get it, nerds.
19.
19, okay.
27
Okay, Inget.
in Arcana.
So, you know that wild dragons are certainly famous for breathing fire and tearing creatures apart. They're by no means the only creatures capable of employing fire. In fact, honestly, I mean, taking a look at now these have been ripped apart, but Waverly and Ingot both can summon flames and spray them about willy-nilly. You guys could have theoretically done something like this. Now, again, the state of the body suggests that there is some kind of predator at work here. But there's a huge variety of beasts that would be capable of employing magical fire of some kind and would use that as a means to hunt down prey animals like this. But there's nothing that you're seeing in the area that points you to a particular, like, this is for sure. Like, there's the answers are so varied that it's difficult to say, like, what specifically it could be.
I'd like to listen to the area around us to see if I can hear any like animals, specifically like birds or something of the sort, for the intensive purpose of trying to get a gauge of how long ago this might have been. Because like if birds are, if there's nothing around, it's probably relatively recent. If like birds have come back, then they came.
Go ahead and make a. I would allow either perception or nature for something like this.
Let's do perception.
Sure.
Ooh. That is 24.
Ooh.
24. You don't really hear the sounds of any birds, and like as you're looking at the sky, you don't even see like carrion birds circling overhead, which a corpses like this would attract that kind of creature pretty quickly, but you don't see anything like that in the area. I will say with a perception check though, looking around at the ground too, you do notice a couple sets of canine footprints.
I'm gonna pass all of that information along. Did they look? So they're canine shaped. Did they look like normal dog size?
As you're looking at it, you said what, it was like a 24 perception?
Yes. Damn it, Jim Jam.
As you're looking at it, it seems to you like at first you're like, okay, like a big dog or a wolf maybe, which aside from the burning makes sense, but there is one set. Like you sort of identify there were a couple creatures, but there is one set that looks particularly large. Not only that, but you notice that there are like traces of soot in the footprints, which is weird. Like, and they're not present in any of the other ones. So there's one set that's larger, and there's these like traces of ash and soot in the footprints, like it's like trailing ash or something.
Gabe, out of character, thinking like hellhounds and saying
Hellhound, it has to be.
The in character is like, oh, there seems to be a flaming dog. That's very strange.
Maybe it's like a baby dragon, but like a baby dragon dog. I don't really know anything about animals, so I just kind of spitballing here.
I would say with sort of like what you know about what now that you're noticing these specific traits, if somebody wanted to roll a religion check,
I would like to activate my dog Salmon to help me track things.
Sure.
6.
Hey.
Yeah, I mean when Thea is describing what he's seeing, you certainly know about hellhounds. Flaming abyssal canines, often summoned by to serve as evil servants for powerful clerics. Sometimes they simply escape into the material plane through some means, but a hellhound certainly could be responsible for the carnage that you see before you and would leave a trail very similar to this.
I have read many books about creatures, especially ones of the evil types, and it's very possible that these tracks could be from hellhounds.
Hellhounds? More than one?
Perhaps.
It are dogs in hells.
Well, I think that we need to be very cautious upon approaching.
Okay, well,
stand at the ready, and I'll raise my shield.
I think it couldn't help to have a little more help. I activate Salmon. I'd like to instruct Doggy to smell the tracks to see if they can track it.
The dogs. Yeah. The dog catches a scent very easily and seems to be very excited by it. Like there's a, it's just start like following around. Leads. I mean, this would starts moving forward, occasionally stopping just to like look back at you to see if you're following, but like heading straight deeper into the farmstead. There, on this farm, there's like the main farmhouse. There's this really large barn where you imagine that's probably where the livestock would have been kept when it wasn't burnt to a crisp. And then there's also like a couple like storage shed type buildings. And the dog, I mean, beelining for these 3 buildings.
Well, it seems our culprit is in this. Points to whatever building to this building. Are we ready to face this thing? Do we have to face this thing?
Well, don't you think we should figure out if the farmers inside are okay?
And technically, we are monster hunters now.
Right, monster hunter, finder, helpers, and healers.
Helpers and healers.
Healer, I mean singular, so healer and helpers and friends.
Ingit's gonna use his cantrip to also raise his magical shield.
Sure.
So Waverly and Ingot
Shields
can
up.
sort of be the front lines, yeah. As we slowly.
Can we
edge.
pre-draw weapons, or is that too much?
No,
Is
you
that
can.
too much?
Yeah, you can walk forward with your weapon drawn. Just keep in mind which weapon you want to draw, and
Not the
That's
fire
fine.
one.
not
Great
the-
sword, activate. I don't have an ice one, right? That's
No,
he
you don't have
has
an
an
ice
ice knife.
sword.
Someone has an ice knife here.
Electric.
Oh, like
Yeah, we've got
Yeah,
we've
yeah,
got lightning and fire so far.
Okay.
Um,
I take up my greatsword. It's great.
It's
a
great.
great sword in hand as you make your way forward. Is anybody else doing anything as they go forward? We got shields up from Waverly and Ingot. As you creep forward, Thea, is there anything that you want to be doing?
I want to stealth.
Yeah.
Stealth, heck yeah, that's right. So you
Oops.
sort of peel
Should
off
rest
from the
us.
group,
I've done this.
keeping to where you hope that you can be out of sight. It's a little bit difficult with the big open field, but you're an expert at maintaining a low profile. Give me a stealth roll, if you don't mind.
Just hide
want
behind the
me to
charred
give it-
cow.
Or do you want to do it so I don't know what it is?
Ah, you're
Ooh.
right. You know what? It could be a secret roll. So what's your
Aw.
new stealth bonus now that you're level 3?
11.
Woohoo!
More.
Only because like it would be obvious to you how well you're doing. I'm gonna give away the secret roll because it was a nat 20.
Yeah.
Like in broad daylight, in an open field, like Thea just vanishes by magic. I mean, this guy, he is creeping.
It's his new belt.
No one's gonna see.
Well, we lost him.
The rest of you, as you're making your way forward, as you're getting closer to the farmhouse, the dog is leading you along, and you are about to pass by one of the sheds, and you can see that the door to the shed is open. And now that you're getting closer, you can hear like a snarling and growling and yapping sounds coming from inside. And as you listen more carefully, you hear the wet ripping sound of tearing flesh. And it's at this point that Salmon sort of like starts growling and barks. And all of a sudden the sounds from inside the shed stop. And moments later, a hound bursts out of the shed, hairless, with coal black flesh, veins of molten red running across its hide. It howls and its whole body bursts into flames. Loping along behind it are 2 wolves, jaws bloody from a recent meal.
Oh,
And it's
hell.
time to roll initiative.
Oh.
Sorry about my doggy. Oh, goodness. Okay.
Oh yeah. That increased too.
Oh my
The
god.
perception bonus.
29.
Oh, well.
Crap.
Okie dokie.
Wait, 28. 28. Sorry, I can't math. 28.
18.
18,
A little low.
24.
24, all right.
19 for Ingot.
19 for Ingot. All right, Waverly. I mean, I think it's no surprise that you react first. This, what you clearly recognize with your previous check rolling over to be a hellhound, bursts out of the shed. 2 wolves at its side, and this thing, you know that this is a creature literally from the pits of hell, evil as evil can be, and it certainly does not belong on this world. It needs to be removed.
Smited, even. Smited.
Smote.
How many feet away do you think Ingot and I are from these creatures?
I would say you guys are 25 feet away from the shed as they burst out.
Okay. Waverly has her shield raised, and she is going to cast, because she was ready for this. She saw the footprints, and she had a thought that it could be hellhounds, and she does not like evil creatures, and so she is going to shoot her hand out as fast as she can, almost crossing over Ingot, and she's going to cast Sound Burst.
Ooh.
Sound burst.
Sound Burst, which will cover a 10-foot burst area.
Sure.
And your creatures will get creature, if I can hit more than one, I'd like to.
Oh yeah, they're clumped up just bursting out of here. I would say that in a 10-foot burst like that, you could hit one of the either both of the wolves or the hellhound and one of the wolves.
Hellhound and one of the wolves.
Sure.
And you will get a fortitude save.
Fortitude save. All right, from the hellhound. Ooh. All right, we're looking at a 22.
A 22 is going to be a success.
Okay.
But not a critical success.
Oh, okay, okay.
So you'll take half damage.
All right, and then the wolf is coming in with a dirty 20.
Okay, that will also take half damage then.
All right.
Bummer. But you're about to get hit with 2d10 damage.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Right now.
So loud.
Here we go.
What does it sound like, Katie?
Well, not great. The total is 8, so 4 for your creatures taking half points of
All
damage.
right.
Huzzah.
All right. Maybe you were a little too eager.
It was.
And this is a power you've never called upon before, so it just you couldn't. It wasn't the most impressive showing of your magic, but still effective. This burst of sound erupting in the midst of this wolf pack, and the hellhound and one of the wolves both shaking their head, shrugging off some of the effects of this magic, but still you see like a little bit of blood trickling out of one of the wolves' ears as the burst subsides.
And I'm also going to use my move action to move backward about 15 feet.
15 feet backwards. All right, so you blast them with sound, and then you back up 15 feet. That puts you 40 feet away from these creatures. And we move on to Thee's turn. You are hidden, my friend. I would say that since you have to... well, no, I mean... I would put you probably closer to 35 feet away, since you sort of keep to yourself when you're stealthing. But you're still within like 10 feet of your companions, 35 feet away from these creatures.
All right.
And you are unnoticed.
So I'm gonna pull out my short bow, and take a shot. I'm gonna move 5 feet closer, and then just take a shot at probably the wolf on like the left side, not going for the hellhound. That thing scares the hell out of me.
Gotcha.
Take an initial shot at them.
All right.
Oh, that's cute.
No.
A little one's cute. He's got a big furry collar.
19 to hit.
19 against a wolf is a hit.
All right. And that is. And are they flat-footed because they're unaware of my presence?
Ooh. Yes, because you are hidden. They are flat-footed. And you rolled stealth for initiative and they haven't gone, so that's another reason.
Awesome. Okay. So that is 7 points of piercing damage.
Nice.
All right. Now they know you're there. Now they're quite aware and they're unhappy. Although it's still your turn. You have 2 more actions left.
We're just gonna crit fish.
Yeah. Go for it.
That's a 16 total.
Said 16?
Yep.
16 is a hit.
Oh, hell yeah. for 6 piercing damage.
6 points of damage. All right, this wolf is now peppered with arrows, bleeding from one of its ears. Not looking good. It's like it's like scrabbling to stay upright, but it is still upright.
And actually,
You got one action left.
I'm gonna use my action to go like to the left, maybe like 20 feet.
Okay.
Just so that we're not all compressed together, because that
You don't
has
wanna be
gone
clumped
wrong.
up. Yep, you don't want to
Well-
be clumped up.
Unless someone casts protection.
I mean, that's that's true.
I feel like we're getting into a groove.
But I don't know if they're gonna go first.
Right.
Well, let me ask you this, Oh, no, never mind. It's fine. It's all good. That's actually works for me. And at this point, the hellhound reacts. It sees Waverly. It sees our good friend Ingot, and it sees our good friend Gristle all approaching the shack. It is going to charge forward almost until it's right in front of Ingot, who is at the front of the group at this point. And when it gets there, it opens its jaws, and you think to yourself, "Oh, here comes those teeth!" And
Yeah.
you can see this like flame bubbling up inside this creature. But instead of coming down after it opens its jaws and biting you, it just inhales deeply, and a gout of molten ash and flame just erupts from inside of it. And I need a reflex save from all 3 of our friends over in that area of the woods.
Okay.
This is not... Thee wisely managed to get out of the way.
19.
19, that is a success.
21.
21 is a success as well.
16.
16 is a failure.
Ah.
All right, so those of you who succeeded, you're going to take half of this damage, and
Son of a-
Ingot, you're taking it all.
That's fine.
Oh no, that's some
Oh, no.
sixes.
No.
10, 16, 19 points.
Ouchie.
Fire damage is the full 10
Ow.
points to those who passed their save. Now I have to roll a 1d4 to see how long it'll be before I can use this breath weapon again. And that is a 1. So it's got a 1 round cooldown this time as it blasts you all with fire. And that was one action to move, one action to breathe that flame. It does have one action left. And now the jaws come in and try to bite. Ingot, this is a bad start to the day for you, my friend.
That's fine. Well, I will say that Ingot has been taking this all with a concentrated face, and it's just thing after thing. He's got his shield up, and he is protecting his friends.
Just protecting his friends. He's tougher now. He's a tough guy. He knows what it is to be stone. And that's where he puts himself back in that mode.
Yes.
Become the stone. And it must have worked because, honest, I'm honest with my rolls. I rolled a natural 1.
Oh, that's not gonna hit.
On that attack comes in and just whiffs. You just all bounces off this magical shield that you have conjured in front of you, and like shaking its head in confusion, not quite understanding the energy that repelled it. And that is the end of its turn. The other wolves go on a separate initiative, so at this point, Ingot, it is your turn.
So Ingot is going to take this magical shield, and I imagine this burst of fire and ash was coming at him and the rest of them. He tries to deflect it, but gets sort of overwhelmed and manages to sort of knock a lot of it out of the way, and then comes back up with the trusty ray of frost crystal that he snaps into this thing's jaw.
Yep, that'll do it. Go ahead and make your spell attack.
Yeah. Oh, natural 20. Okay, okay.
Okay.
Everyone calm down.
As Andrew's throwing papers in the air.
Yeah, okay. Fantastic. So a critical success. Yeah. I would assume that would be a critical success, right?
Yeah, if it's
it's
definitely a critical success. If the spell will tell you if there's an additional effect for a critical success, otherwise it's just just double the damage dice.
It is the target takes double damage and takes a 10-foot status penalty for its speed for 1 round. And then That is 7 doubled is 14 cold.
14 points of cold damage. Yeah, you basically just like
He spat fire and I
uppercut
spat
this
ice
thing
back.
with an ice crystal, and this like ray of frost hits it right under the chin, blooms cold across its body. You actually see steam rising as some of its blackened skin like cracks and like leaks some of this molten magma of its own blood. And not only does it take double damage, and is now moving slower as its whole body is like seizing up from the cold, but it has a weakness to cold.
Yay.
And will take an additional 5 points of damage because of that. So
Ingot stands his ground.
Yeah, that is a fantastic hero moment for Ingot. Like, just get blasted with flames and then just respond in kind with a ray of freezing energy.
And then Ray of Frost is only a 2-action spell,
Yep.
so for the final action, I'm going to cast Protective Ward as a
Ward.
1-action spell.
All right.
So
Currently, you and Gristle are in that bubble. Waverly had moved a little bit back, so she's just outside of it. But when you if she stays where she is and you expand it a little bit more, you'll be able to catch her later.
Yep, so it's +1 to your AC, Gristle.
Yay! I mean, my AC is 20 already, so
Yeah.
yeah.
Gristle, I don't need a higher AC.
No, I might for these things.
Yeah, and then he just stands there with his magical shield, just ready for the next thing.
Magical shield up. A really good turn for Ingot. Really good. You know, it's not often that you see a wizard just like trade blows with a hellhound, but Ingot is that wizard. Gristle, it is your turn. What do you do?
Inspired by the actions of my wizard friend Ingot, I rush forward to attack the hellhound.
Mm-hmm.
I just have my greatsword, but
Okay.
it's pretty dope and it's not on fire. It won't help him. It won't accidentally heal him when I hit him.
Right.
I'm gonna do power attack first, so that's 2 actions.
Sure.
So if it hits, great. If it doesn't, wah. Okay, that is a 13 plus 10, 23 to hit.
23 does it. That is a hit.
Excellent. And then I'm gonna roll my d12 twice. That's
correct.
10. Yes. Plus 8. That's 18. And then plus my strength is 19, 20, 21 total. And that is the damage I do.
21 points of damage. This thing nearly frozen in place as you step up and just huge overhand chop. You hit it right on the back of its neck, and its frozen skin like shatters as it's dipped in liquid nitrogen. And as it does, the head shatters. The body falls apart into a heap of ash. This thing dead.
Combo.
Okay.
I am very excited that this worked because it looked very well. As my last action, I'm gonna try Brutus Shove because I hit it already and now I can Brutus Shove it. Is that correct?
It's dead.
It exploded.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just thought
it's
like.
dead. So
But there's
Oh,
still
never
a
mind.
wolf left, right?
you can't shove it because it is dead. However,
Okay.
there is another wolf, but it is not. It's not up in melee with you. So unfortunately, there are no creatures that can do that. But otherwise,
Can I use my extra action to? No, that's not enough. I don't have enough. Okay, I just say where I am. I'm good for now. Same
Sure.
protection.
I would say, sort of as a suggestion, if you wanted to, you could use your extra action to close the distance between you and one of the wolves because you have that reaction.
Oh, right.
Oh,
the
yes.
attack of opportunity, which means that if they move, you put yourself in a position where they're sort of boxed in because of what you've done. So
I do that thing.
sure, yeah, you just rush up
Can
after.
Can I do like a backflip on the way? I just
Sure, yeah.
I backflip because I have
Yeah.
really sweet athletics now from all that cool stretching I did earlier.
Yep. You
Yeah.
you do like a tumble routine and come up right in front of this other wolf that is
So cool.
peppered with arrows, bleeding from its ears, not having a good day at all. And that was your third action. We move on to the wolves' turn. They see the hellhound just literally shatter and become ash, blowing away in the breeze. and they both, yelping, flee.
Yes.
Now, if you want to, you can make an attack of opportunity against the one as it moves away from you.
Yes.
All right, take your swing.
Is it an auto hit or no?
No, you have to attack.
Oh, I see. Okay. Cool. That is a 1. Jeez. Plus 3 is 4. 4. I shave a tear a bit by its split.
No, with a 1, you're definitely not going to hit. Although you should be adding more than 3 because you're.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said not to roll to hit. I just auto hit. Never mind.
No. You're making an attack. So.
Okay, I was rolling my damage. Sorry. That's a 9
no
plus 10, so it's 19.
19 is a hit.
Okay.
So now the damage that you dealt was 1 plus 3, so 4 points of damage.
Yes.
All right, this wolf, as it's fleeing, you just cut along its flank. It's a graze, but this creature, which was already very badly wounded, just tumbles to the side and doesn't make it. However, its wolf buddy just takes off, tearing across the field and disappearing into some brush, using all 3 of its actions to get away. If you intend to chase it down, you can. Otherwise, we are out of combat. It is up to you, Waverly, since you would be the next to go. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna rush to Ingot, seeing that this wolf ran away, and treat wounds.
As soon as he lets the defenses down, he is hurt.
Oh, don't worry, I'll help you. And is anyone else injured? No, just us.
I think Thee was
Okay.
he didn't clump up. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna.
I lost 10 HP. I just forgot.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm gonna treat wounds on both Gristle and Ingot at the same time.
Okay.
With my new feet.
So the wolf flees. You immediately rush to your companions with your healer's kit, out bandages and burn salves at the ready, and begin treating your companions. Ingot and Gristle, you notice that Waverly seems to be able to equally divide her attention and ministrations to both of you. She seems to have gotten much more efficient in her treatment. And she is able to treat both of you in the same 10-minute period with the same check. What does that heal check look like?
26.
26, which is a critical success, which is going to give everybody 4d8 hit points back.
Wow.
Ooh, 4d8. Holy
Kind of wish I got
moly.
hit.
You might
It
as
feels
well
like
at
a
this
win
point.
just to get this much. Okay, hang on. I need to find 4d8.
The plasticky sounds of dye being rustled.
Right.
Ooh, okay. 4, 8, 14, plus 8, 22.
Good lord.
Back to full.
I'm
Yeah,
back
think
to.
you
I only
guys
needed
are-
10,
you
so.
guys I think you're all better.
Yeah.
Yay.
So she's treating wounds, and so that, again, it takes 10 minutes. Even though she's very efficient at it and able to treat both of you at the same time, it still takes a little bit of time. So while that's happening, Fee, you're looking around. You don't see any other signs of danger, but then you hear this squealing of hinges behind you, and you look and you see the barn door is being shoved open, and 2 terrified looking women are now standing in the doorway, and they're looking around. Are they gone? We saw that was. Thank you for coming. Your friend's hurt.
You've been saved by the Monster Hunter Trio, the bravest adventurers ever.
And the healer.
And the healer.
She talks about herself in third person. We don't know why. Ignore that.
He's
she's
part of our
the
group.
trio.
He's just. He's got. We hope you're doing okay. He is part of our group, though, just so we're all on the same page.
Damn it.
Are you injured?
He's directing it at these women.
Sure. They come up to the group of you now, and they say, "Oh, no, we're okay. We're fine. We rushed into the. We saw those things coming, and we saw what they did to to Bessie and Ferdinand and Hank, and we hid in the barn. And the wolves came and they were tearing things up, but they didn't get into the barn. We were really worried that maybe that one that could breathe fire might try to burn the place down, and I don't know what would have happened if you guys hadn't showed up. So it was really good that you came. I'm sorry, my name's Jala, and this is my sister Lavinia. We own this farm, and I think we've heard of you, monster hunters in the town. You guys, are you the ones that took care of that dragon that we heard about?
Yes.
Indeed. Unless a kobold is asking, then no.
No, correct. It's complicated.
Well, no, we're not kobolds. No.
Good.
Well, I guess Otari's really lucky to have you around these days. You guys are making quite a name for yourselves.
That is correct. Thank you.
Oh, we're just doing what we can to help the innocent people of this town.
We really appreciate it. We don't have really any money to give you, but here, I was in a panic. I grabbed this when we rushed into the barn. I thought maybe we would need it, but maybe you should have it. And she hands you a bottle, which, as I've mentioned before, every adventurer worth their salt can recognize a healing potion, but this one is, before you had been getting minor healing potions, this one is a lesser healing potion, which will heal 2d8 plus 5 hit points when consumed.
Well, thank you.
We are thankful for the gift, but perhaps you may be able to pay us in information. Have there been strange sightings of monsters like this?
No, not. I mean, this is certainly the first time we've seen anything like this. I guess there's a lot of rumors flying around these days about things that happen. I heard just the other day the town was in an uproar about some army of kobolds, and then somebody said that there was the courier that usually runs from Absalom had been turned to stone. So that's certainly something that we're worried about. But I mean,
yes.
You know what? Wait, no. Over at the Giant's Wheel, there was something happening. No. They were saying that some of the equipment had been damaged. There's some kind of vandalism. I don't know if that has anything to do with what happened here, but I don't know. It might be something to check out.
Oh, it's so interesting that you mentioned that. We were actually on our way there just now.
Great. Well, yeah, maybe you should ask them if what's been going on. I mean, I don't have any details. I just know that some of the workers had been talking that there were they were talking about being afraid to be around at night because there was some kind of monster that was tearing up some of the equipment, or I don't know. Ask them.
I'm gonna take the healer potion and I'm gonna hand it to Waverly.
Thank you. She tucks it in her bag. And you hear
never
like
want to
clink.
turn down a gift.
You hear like clink clank because she's got a bunch of them in her bag.
Clink clank.
Well, thank you very much for your information. I'm sorry about your animals on your farm, but you are welcome to this beautiful wolf pelts that we have sourced for you. There's probably wolf meat in there, and I don't know if there's anything left of the shattered fire hellhound, but maybe you can sell its teeth for money. I don't know. Just throwing some ideas out there for you.
Well, I mean, we're just grateful to be alive. If that thing had gotten to us, I mean, we would have been dead for sure. So, we'll just count our blessings and we'll be okay. This is Otari. We know how to get by.
Let us know at our headquarters if you see any other monsters, as we are monster hunters.
And
Absolutely.
heal us and help us.
And healers and
A lot of
Just not
H's.
the monsters. We don't heal and help the monsters. We heal and help the innocent people.
Working on it.
Yes, I think I understand.
We must make haste.
He's
To the Giant's
gonna
Wheel.
take a couple steps ahead and just wait for the party to catch up.
Waverly turns around thinking she's the first to go and then sees Thea and then like kind of scurries.
I go back and get the horse because we have a horse, and I call the dog over to me. Excellent work, Salmon. You were a little loud. We're gonna work on that with you, but good boy. Let's go.
All right. So you head back to the road, having done your good deed for the day, saving these two women's lives for sure. It wasn't necessarily a lucrative venture, but you did get a healing potion out of it, and maybe it's not all about the money. After all, Waverly seems to be quite pleased to have healed and helped people today.
Living up to the name.
But there certainly have been quite a few disturbances of late that might weigh heavily on your mind. There's all these signs of Lamash 2 about, all of these monsters riled up and attacking people close to Otari. Perhaps something very sinister is going around town. But before we get into what that might be, we are going to take a short break. And come back. We will head to the Giant's Wheel in just a few minutes, because for right now, I need to go get some water, take a pee break, and then we'll do this. We'll do some more Pathfinder. Stick around.
Add the Sirenscape Online player to your virtual tabletop sessions for immersive sounds and epic music broadcast to your players in real time with seamless quality. The online player bridges any distance to bring your gaming group together. Get the Sirenscape Online player today at Sirenscape.com.
Absalom, the city at the center of the world, heart of the Isle of Kortos. Since the living god Erudin founded it nearly 5,000 years ago, people have proudly called this metropolis the crown jewel of the inner sea. Now, it is the year of the Radiant Festival, a once-in-a-lifetime celebration that has drawn visitors to Absalom from around the globe. But not all who wander the boardwalks and alleyways of Absalom have good intentions. Craven crooks, shady charlatans, and malevolent murderers have set their sights on a distracted populace. Under cover of the chaotic festivities, a diabolical plot unfolds. Who can protect the innocent citizens of Absalom? Who will answer the call to save this ancient city from the villains who aim to overtake it? To guard Absalom from certain danger, a band of heroes must uncover the city's deepest secrets, scour its streets for clues, and take down its most dangerous criminal masterminds. For the safety of the many, a few will risk it all. The Agents of Edgewatch.
Inappropriate sound is inappropriate. Don't let the action suffer from a lack of atmosphere. Let Sirenscape set the tone and bring your game to life. See? That's better. Journey to Sirenscape.com to download the app and make it the year of atmosphere at your table. And be sure to watch Dragons and Things every Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific on Twitch.
Bring your game to life with officially licensed Pathfinder miniatures and Pathfinder paints from Reaper Miniatures. Pathfinder miniatures are available in both metal and bones plastic versions to suit your gaming style. Sculpted in heroic gaming scale, Reaper's officially licensed miniatures range features everything from iconic heroes to fan-favorite monsters. Don't forget to use officially licensed Pathfinder paints, colors of Galarion, to paint your Pathfinder miniatures. Pathfinder paints are highly pigmented for fast coverage and feature excellent flow with a matte finish. All Reaper paints are water-based and easy to clean up. Please head over to reaperminiatures.com to see the entire range of Reaper's officially licensed Pathfinder RPG products.
Gather your crew and prepare to embark on the journey of a lifetime as you explore the packed worlds of the Starfinder universe, taking on the role of a science fantasy hero customized to fit your playstyle. But danger lurks amongst the stars. Will you fight back with advanced weaponry and cunning tactics? Or will your hero wield the devastating forces that fuse magic and technology together to alter reality? Your crew must come together if you have any hope of victory. In Starfinder, every decision drives the adventure as you build an epic saga with your friends. Bring your story to life in a game where the fate of the worlds rests on the answer to the most important question of all. What do you do? Begin your journey into the Starfinder universe today with the Starfinder Beginner Box, now available at Paizo.com, your local gaming store, and anywhere else adventure can be found.
We are back. Not that you didn't know that, because you could see the break is over and I am here, so we must be back. But now we must bring back everybody else, because I don't like being here. I don't know why we come back on me only. Like I'm not that special. We don't need to see my face big. I want to see everybody else, you know?
Because if you're late, it's just your fault and nobody else's.
It's because I'm always late, so you have to stay up there while I rush in here and
imagine how
make
awkward
it.
it'll be the one time I'm late when it comes back and there's just an empty chair and none of you are here. You can't see you guys. It's just my empty chair for a whole extra minute until I can get back.
Then we become
fantastic.
the game master.
That's cool. You guys run a game for me. How about that?
Yeah.
You tell me what
Yeah.
happens
Be
next.
interesting.
I'll
That'd be
play.
fun.
Good times. Well, speaking of fun and speaking of Pathfinder, let's play. Man, I'm good at segues. That's just, every time I'm on it with segues.
Welcome, Paizo people.
Welcome, Paizo people.
Hello.
When we left off, you guys had just defeated a hellhound and 2 wolves at a farmhouse that had attacked a farm. You saved these innocent people from a fiery fate, and now continue your journey towards the Giant's Wheel along the Granary Road, just on the outskirts of Otari. It is starting to become quite troubling how close to the city some of these monster attacks are getting. But you don't have too much time to consider that, because pretty soon you actually arrive at the Giant's Wheel, which is a massive, incredibly noisy lumber mill. It's one of the biggest businesses in Otari. The package that you are set to deliver is addressed to one Clort Hengus. And after a few questions around, you discover that this is none other than the foreman himself. He turns out to be a tall, burly half-orc with ground-down tusks jutting out of his jaw. He pulls off a pair of thick leathered gloves and pulls a sawdust-covered bandana off of his face. Says, "So, I hear you got something for me."
Yes. She reaches in her bag and pulls out this weird, oddly shaped bag of metal. Yes, I believe this belongs here. We're delivering the parcels.
I was expecting something from Absalom. No idea what's in it. I just know it's from one of my old contacts. I used to be a gladiator back there, back in my salad days. Now I find cutting lumber a lot more peaceful than cutting people's legs off. Let me see what we got here. Don't worry, I never actually cut people's legs off, not unless they could be reattached by some of the alchemists and clerics that worked the pits down there. So nobody was seriously maimed except for that one time. And he pulls open the bag, and he's looking in there, and he's like, oh, okay. Yeah, and he jumps, there's a bunch of like medals and badges in his hand. He says, that makes sense. Oh, the skeever. This is his idea of a joke. Never mind. I don't need to bore you with the details here. Thanks for delivering this for me.
But I'm so intrigued. Please, what is it?
Oh, these are some of the we had a bet back in the day. Each of the gladiators in Absalom, we have our own personal badges, like sigils, because it's like it's a sporting event, really. It's not in combat. We're not in it because we hate each other. We're in it because the crowds like to see us bash on each other for a bit. And so I bet him that there were 5 in my first year. I got beat by 5 other gladiators. I had a pretty good record. And Skeever, he insisted he was a better fighter. I told him he'd never beat the 5 people that got me. And fair enough, he earned all 5 of their badges, or he bought them and is just selling to me to get my goat or something. I don't know. But either way, it's just a bit of a joke.
Oh, well, I was trying to make a segue about a joke, but unfortunately one didn't come to my head. We heard that perhaps at nighttime a monster is coming through here and attempting to tear parts down. Do you have any information about that?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, we've been having some troubles at night. Here, I'll show you, I guess.
We ran into
delivery and might I ask why you're inquiring about this?
Not only are we a delivery service, we are monster hunters and healers.
And helpers? Yes, that was it.
But we don't help and heal the monsters.
Correct.
Oh, thing I was about to say that didn't make a whole lot of sense, but I'm glad you're not healing and helping the monsters. Well, I'm not really sure that we're looking at the work of monsters. But either way, I mean, you're right. There have been some issues around here at night. I'll show you. Takes you over to the log flume, which is not a ride here.
I want to ride it.
Serious piece of equipment at the lumber mill. And you see that a lot of the support struts are badly burned and charred. So this is not the worst of it. They smashed up some equipment too, whoever's been coming down. Then they tried to set fire here to the flume, which luckily they didn't get enough of a blaze to tear the whole thing down, because this thing goes down and the whole giant's wheel is out for maybe months. If it doesn't kill if we're lucky enough that it doesn't kill somebody, it still puts us out of business for 2 months, maybe more, while we try to repair it. So, and it's been, we've been noticing at first, we thought maybe some accidents, but no, we came over the last week. We've starting to suspect somebody's coming around here at night, intentionally smashing up equipment, and obviously now trying to burn down the whole flume. That's it's kind of a big problem for us. So I guess we're lucky you popped along.
Do
what do you make of it?
Enemies?
Enemies? No, I mean, we're a lumber. I mean, if this was something targeted at me personally, I guess as I mentioned, I was a gladiator in Absalom, but I can't think of anybody who wouldn't, if they had a problem with me, wouldn't come direct to me and slug it out with me like a proper gladiator would. So,
have you noticed any tracks leading to and from this equipment?
Oh, I mean, I guess none of us are woodsmen and rangers types, but I don't know. You're monster hunters. You tell me. Do you notice anything weird around here?
I should investigate, and I will investigate. She'll get
Sure.
down on the ground, and she's got her little notepad.
Sure. Make a survival check.
While we're looking, Ingot would like to make an Arcana check to see if the fire was magically based like the previous creature.
I would allow that. Sure.
21.
21. There is a lot of foot traffic around here, which makes some of things a little bit muddled. But you kind of know what you're looking for. You get a keen eye out, and you see a couple of things. And because you just saw something similar, you pick it out. There are some overly large imprints of canine paw prints and traces of soot in them.
Well, I think I've solved the case before it's even begun. You see here, these look exactly like the footprints of the hellhound that we just slayed. So perhaps it was the hellhound and the wolves all along.
Or there might be another hellhound.
Or we already solved the problem, which would be neat.
I guess the only way to find out is to wait until tonight and see if anything comes to attack the equipment again, and perhaps we wait here as well, and if anything tries to come, we'll be here to stop it.
I can try one thing. I would like to get my dog out.
Oh yeah.
And see, I don't know how dog tracking works, but if it recognizes the scent that is here as the same as the one previously.
Sure. I mean, it's a dog, so it's like you can get it to track a scent. Can it communicate to me like, yes, I recognize the scent?
Well, does the dog start walking somewhere else to like look for the source of it? Maybe like does the dog start walking back?
When you like command it and it catches the scent, like it starts walking around and like these tracks, like its trail, like it has been in a lot of places around here. As this is happening, Clort is looking. He's like, so this like hellhound thing, right? Kind of use tools. Like, is it a smart beastie?
Don't think so.
No, it's like a giant wolf that's on fire.
Oh, okay. Huh. Okay.
Someone messing with your tools then also.
Oh no, it was just that like the first couple of nights that we noticed as a problem, it was like somebody had actually dismantled some pieces. It wasn't like they broke things. Somebody had actually dismantled one of the mill pieces. That's why at first we thought maybe it was somebody who had taken something for repair. We didn't even recognize it as vandalism at first because it could have been somebody actually like taking a piece to try to repair it and forgetting to replace it or something. I don't know. Maybe both things happened, and there's just this dog trying to burn things down. I don't know.
Do you know of any of the other half orcs in Otari?
There's a couple.
And I'm going to describe the one that was in the crypt.
Sure. Not as a way to convince him, but just because you're trying to like convey sort of secondhand information. Make a diplomacy check for me, just to see how well the details stick in your mind and you convey them.
25.
Whoa.
25. He says, no, that's not somebody that I think I recognize, but I do remember that some of the boys were saying there was some drifter that came into Otari about a week back and was staying in town, keeping to himself, half-orc fellow, maybe like you're describing.
Ingot is down like in the dirt level, and he's squatted and drawn the symbol of Lamashtu, and he looks up at Clort and says,
"Do you recognize this symbol?"
Not see anything like that around, no.
Waverly like kind of kicks her foot on the dirt to make it go away because it makes her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Well, perhaps we should Well, I'm not sure. Should we stay overnight and see if anybody comes here? Or perhaps we can look in town and see if anyone else knows anything.
Perhaps one night for protection.
Yes, at least, and perhaps we can investigate a little more the area to see if there's any more clues about who did these things.
Yes.
It'd be a load off my mind if you wanted to stay overnight. Again, they tried. This is last night was the first time we come back and find signs of this fire. If they had been successful and burned this thing down, they come back again and get it right this time, we'd be in a heap of trouble. So if you wanted to stay overnight and see if you could thwart this, we'd be quite indebted to you. Whole city would be. This is the lifeblood of the town right here.
Sense that someone would want to cause issues if this is the lifeblood of the town.
Oh, yes. Well, it's settled then. We will stay the night here and protect this area and make sure that no harm is done to it.
Well, I can't argue with that. I mean, as I mentioned, I'm quite indebted to you. I'll see if I can scrounge up some funds to pay for your services.
That's not necessary.
Oh, excellent.
You.
Then,
it is
that's so generous of you. You really are heroes. No
can't
payment
eat
at
on
all
favors.
required. I
Helpers,
can't believe it.
healers, and
Absolutely
monster
zero payment required. That's fantastic.
I just want to say that she's saying you don't have to pay her.
Oh, yes.
Of course. I understand. So, don't you worry about it. I'll scrape something together. It probably won't be much, but something to put food on your table for a few days at least.
Well, if we are gathering for a meal tonight, perhaps we could invite Jala and Navinia, the farmers who are nearby. They've had a traumatic event recently and probably could use some company.
That is such a generous idea.
I don't see much harm in it, except that we're not really going to be around at night. Everybody, after the shift's over, we all head into town. We don't live here at the Giant's Wheel. This is just where we work.
Oh, right. Well, we will be here then by ourselves. Send them our regards on your way out, I guess.
Excellent.
It's like daytime, but Waverly's gathering like sticks and like brush to build like this bonfire in the middle of the day.
Wait, are we doing like a stakeout?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. Tell me how you guys want to do this. You want to stay overnight? I mean, they seem Clort's happy to offer any assistance. Just if there's anywhere. Let's see, you guys can wait. I have an office of sorts. It's basically like a wooden trailer where it's messy, but it's at least sheltered if you wanted to stay in there. You guys can post up. I mean, you guys tell me how you want to post with the stakeout. There's plenty of places to hide and observe, but that kind of goes both ways. Whereas it would be pretty easy to sneak in here at night too, with between the stacks of lumber and all the huge hulking equipment. So you're going to want to make sure that you post up somewhere where you have a good vantage point as well.
Can I use my warfare lore to set traps in the places we will not be able to see or directly access?
Absolutely. I would say that if you wanted to make a warfare lore check, that would be a great use of the skill.
I barely get to use this thing, so I'm very excited. That's not great. That is a 14.
A 14? Okay. You know that you probably, because of the amount of cover, you're going to want to get somebody who can see pretty well in the dark up in a high spot. That would probably be a really great place. And the spot that you see that would give the best vantage point is actually at the top of the log flume. There's ample place to sort of post up and keep watch over the lumber camp from there. In terms of traps, you would say that it's kind of difficult to pick exactly where you would want to place any, because there's so much ground to cover that, like, if you're talking about, because you guys still have those bear trap things from the spike traps from a
Mhm.
long time ago, right?
Mhm.
Because
Yep.
those are so localized, you would say that it's kind of difficult because this is such a big area and those are so small that it's hard to tell where the best place to put them would be. But I would say that maybe over in the lumber stacks themselves, anybody trying to sneak through there would have to go through a couple narrow corridors where the various stacks of lumber are positioned. So if they tried to sneak in there, you might catch somebody there. Or near to the log flume itself, if that's what they're targeting.
How many bear traps do we have, team?
2, I think.
2?
Yep.
Okay.
2 of them, yeah.
Well, if we were going to take turns doing guarding, setting traps, maybe walking the perimeter, these might be good jobs for us to split up. But, stay somewhat close together. Someone with good eyesight should be at the top of the log flue. We can set bear traps among the lumber stacks. And I would say where there's the most damage, in the area where it looks like there were tools used, we could set the last person out down there.
This sounds like a plan.
Oh,
We
yes.
also have plenty of rope. We might be able to make alerts of some sort, like they bump into it, set off a bell.
And we
Yes.
do have time.
Yeah, maybe we can do that at the entrance of some of the door frames of
Hate
this
when
place.
people do that.
What was the name of the gentleman who worked here?
Clort.
Claude. Is he still here?
Yes. Yeah.
Or
Claude, I do have a question for you. In my limited readings of gladiators and their incredible feats, I do know that gladiators love to fight with giant nets. Perhaps you still have your net or anything similar that we might be able to use for this little ruse.
You caught me off guard there, so I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I would roll.
Roll for net, Jim
roll
Jam.
a die.
Roll
This
for
is
net.
now. I'm gonna roll a die. I'm gonna give
Yes.
you. I'm gonna give you a 40% chance that this guy's got a net.
Pretty good chance.
He says, I didn't. Wasn't really the net type, and I didn't keep much from those days. I even sold off my prize axe when I left Absalom. I just wasn't it was a real rough time in my life, and there's it certainly brought me to where I am today, but not really something that I think of too overly fondly.
Oh, well, I don't want to bring up any uncomfortable memories for you, but thought I would ask because I do think that it would be helpful. Anyways, we're going to get back to setting up.
All right. He seems pretty happy to give you guys run of the place, as long as you don't sort of disrupt any of the day's work. And as you guys are staking things out, you sort of do your thing. Just tell me if there's anything specific that you guys want to do to prepare, so that I have it all marked as we get later into the day and into the evening. I know that you were talking about the traps. Is that something specifically that you wanted to do, to set the spike traps up? Or
Yeah, from Gristle's plan, it sounds like maybe Ingot and Waverly would be good on setting up the 2 trap locations. Thea would be good at
Okay.
the top of the flume, and then Gristle would be good to patrol the perimeter.
yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Meanwhile, Thea's setting up the
Like
alarms.
rope alert system.
And I bring
Sure.
the dog with me. It's probably probably
Yeah.
wouldn't last. It's been more than 3 hours that dog lasts, or 6 hours.
It's 6 hours. The dog
Okay.
is 6 hours at a time. So yeah, the dog's still
Dog's
around. By nighttime, he'll need his rest. But
Okay.
at least for now, he's around. So we've got the spike traps. And the spike traps, you guys were going to set those over by the piled lumber to see if.
Yep, one is the piled lumber and one by the flume itself.
Right. All right.
Waddle. A lot of thinking happening over there. It's so scary.
Yeah, well, I just want to make sure that, because, when we make these, this is a great opportunity for you guys to make these preparations. And I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Because, it's, if you guys have a good plan,
don't die.
I want it to work. If you have a bad plan, I also want it to fail miserably.
Okay.
Fair.
And then we find a net, and it solves all our problems.
You're a fisher person. You should be able to make one.
I actually know how to make, just from me watching a lot of TV, I know how a net is made. It takes like hours.
Oh, sure.
To like weave it.
So once Waverly sets this trap, if she even knows how, she'll probably run over and find Gristle. Oh, Gristle, what should I do now?
Oh, well, that was fast. I would say I can patrol by myself, but maybe once Thee is done, once Ingot is done setting his trap, perhaps the two of you should patrol together.
Oh, I think that would be a marvelous idea.
And maybe we should have some sort of symbol or signal to yell or do so that we know, hey, it's time to jump into action, or hey, let's talk to this thing or person for a long time. I feel like last time we didn't know what we were doing and it got a little confusing. I was assume Thea is still here during this time.
Yeah, probably just like laying on the ground, putting together a rope. Oh yes, okay. I concur with that actually.
Ingot's gonna come back from setting his trap and talk to Thea for a bit as they're working.
It seems odd that this friend had sent over the gladiator badges, does it not? If they have defeated all of the enemies, except for Klart, perhaps the final enemy would be Klart themselves?
Oh, yes. I think there's a high chance that they are going to die.
Oh, so is that who may be responsible?
It's possible. Maybe well, because they would not be necessarily expecting it. It could just be a friendly thing. Clark seemed to be shocked by it, which makes me not trust anything.
In your dealings with those in the past, do you seek out your enemies and hold grudges?
I don't have any enemies left.
That speaks volumes.
And Ingot goes to think.
I guess meanwhile, Waverly and Gristle are still chatting about this thing. Okay, so from the last time we talked, Waverly, if it's actively trying to kill us, okay to fight. Is that right?
Oh, yes.
But if just minding its own business, talk.
Well, it's always good to give our enemies the chance to surrender. And if they don't, then, well, you know what to do.
Pacify.
Right. Yes, the P word. Okay, so I guess if we're gonna pacify, someone just yell out, make that call. If you're the first person to find the beast or person or whoever's doing this, yell P for Wait, no, that's no. P for pacify, T to talk.
Oh, that could get quite confusing.
Yeah.
Could we just say the word pacify during a conversation if we're planning to kill somebody?
Oh, yes, like we're keeping it a secret.
Yes.
That's amazing, Thea. I like that idea a lot. Good job. Problem solving.
Yes. I use lots of code words.
All right, are we all ready to start our scouting and or station watching?
Oh, yes. Ingot, are you ready?
Ingot is ready.
All right, I shall bring Salmon with me, and Thea, you are at a very good vantage point and far away, so hopefully you will not be in immediate danger. But if you are, you know how to yell?
Oh, I run very fast.
Okay, you run. To one of us, and then we'll take care of the thing.
Yes.
All right.
This plan.
Go team.
Good plan.
All right. So you've made your preparations. After, later in the afternoon, as the sun's starting to get low, the workers all The shift ends and workers all begin to file out, heading back to Otari proper, back to their homes and their lives, leaving you in this big, empty now. Like, it's been so noisy all day, like all this equipment constantly running, and the sound of sawing wood and shouting people and banging hammers. It's just all day, and now it's so quiet that you can almost like feel it in your head. Sudden absence of sound, and the sun sinks lower and lower and lower and finally disappears. Now it's full night. You've made your preparations. You set up alarms, you've set up some spike traps. I believe you had Thee posted up at the top of the flume. Your eyes at night adjust pretty quickly, and being an elf, seeing by moonlight and starlight is almost as easy as if it were daytime for you. So you have a great vantage point. Obviously, Ingot has full dark vision, so nighttime is nothing to him, although everything just sort of shifts to that monochrome gray scale. Waverly and Gristle, it's a little tougher because you have but simple human eyes, and but the moon is pretty full, and after your eyes adjust, you can kind of see, like, everything starts to it's not too terrible. You make your way around without too much danger. Gristle, you're patrolling. Thee keeping a lookout, and then where's precisely did Ingot and Waverly want to post up?
Ingot is nearby but hidden of the spike track near the flume at the base.
Right, so he's at the base of the flume. So you're pretty close to where Thee is. And then Waverly, where were you gonna be?
I was supposed to patrol with Ingot, but
Oh.
In the dark I lost him.
Oh.
And oh god, I'm gonna be alone and scared. So I'm gonna go. It's fine. And then I'm gonna go be by the other trap that I set earlier, and I'm gonna try to hide a little bit, but Waverly doesn't like the pitch black, so she's gonna cast light, but in the tiniest little amount, like maybe on just like a tiny little pebble that she holds in her hand, like it looked like a little firefly to just kind of illuminate just her little like
cast light on a pebble in your hand, and you can close your hand around it so it doesn't actually shed too much light, but then you can open it and it'll illuminate the area, so you have the light ready. Probably a good tactic. Why don't we have everybody roll a perception check while I roll some percentages for these traps you set?
That's okay.
Okay.
17.
23.
23 also.
19.
19. Okay. Gristle, at one point, while you are patrolling, you are on the sort of southern side of the mill property when you hear a clinking of like cans and bottles, and you remember that Thee had set up some strings, some like strings with stuff on it as like an alarm, and it like settles up, and it only happens for a second, like, but you hear it very distinctly. Ingot, you are standing there, and you're not. It's difficult to tell, but you think you see a flash of movement towards like the southern side of the property, and it happens very quick. It's a sudden flash, and then everything goes still, and then now everything is just quiet and silent, but you both have this like, wait, there was something.
Ingot is going to look up at Thee to see if they're making eye contact at all.
You could probably just wave to get his attention. I'm sure he would notice that after a second for sure.
And then sort of point in the direction of the southern part of the camp.
Just watch that direction.
And I think I would start to stealth to go towards where I heard the noise. And I tell the dog, okay, now we practice this. No bark, 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 just and you can, if you want to, you can point and try to do like the dog pointing motion.
So the dog begins pointing furiously, but making no noise. Make a stealth check for me.
Hey, wow, cool. That's an 11. Whatever that means.
An 11 means that as you're moving forward, you're like, man, I'm really glad that Fee set this alarm. It worked perfectly. And then you step on one, and there's this like jingle of nails all rustling, and you're like, and he set one there too. I forgot.
Oh no.
At that moment, something rushes towards you out of the dark. Large. It's a flurry of motion. This is a humanoid figure, but huge, in armor, like bristling with spears on its back. And it would be best for all of us to roll initiative.
Oh, what the hell?
Oh my god. How far away is everyone from me, though? Aren't they like kind of far? Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, it's you're a little spread out, but I'm sure
rolled
you'll be
a
fine.
1. Okay.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh no.
So Gristle goes
Don't
last.
say that, Jim Jam.
I can't remember what happens to me. Do I still get my?
Yeah, you still,
Bonus?
it just probably
Okay.
means you're going to go last. So add it up as completely normal. It doesn't have an additional bad effect. Except
Okay, I wasn't sure.
go first.
So 8 is my total. Doing great.
8 for Gristle. What about Ingot?
25.
Oh yay!
Whoa,
You saved me.
it's on it. Waverly?
12.
12. I'd say you're probably the last to notice some of this because you're a little bit further away than everybody else. And then Thee.
22.
22 for Thee. You're watching the area. You see this flurry of motion. All right. Ingot, you are keeping an eye out, and you don't have a very good vantage point. You don't see anything because you sort of got like a lot of the struts and stuff from the log flume in your way. But you hear when Gristle triggers one of those little alarms. You hear that, and then you hear like a guttural like shout. And you just you know something is happening over there. You don't have a vantage point to see it, but you know the direction that things are happening, and you are first to act. So what do you want to do?
Okay, so Ingot knows that like something is happening, but can't quite figure out what's going on, and so he thinks this is a good time to use one of his new abilities. I'm going to have him move forward a little bit towards the center-ish of this encampment. And as he's moving, you can see that while his skin had crystallized, his nails are actually crystals. You can see that they're sort of decorated, and he's found some way to carry these magic crystals on his fingers. And he's running forward, and as the magic is infused into them, mist starts pouring out of his fingers, and he starts moving in like a Tai Chi pattern. And as he does, more and more mist starts pouring out from him, and it's obscuring mist.
Obscuring mist.
A cloud of mist that fills a 20-foot burst within 120 feet. All creatures within the mist must gain the concealed condition, and all creatures outside gained. Oh, wait. All creatures within the mist gain the concealed condition, and all creatures outside the mist gain the concealed condition against the creatures within it. The cloud lasts for 1 minute, but I can disperse it before then by spending a single action to end the spell.
Sure. So it does have that 120-foot range. Where do you want to put that cloud? Like where do you want this mist cloud to center?
In the direction of the alarms that have gone off.
Sure. So so I would say at the end of your movement, you managed to position yourself where you can see now two shapes. One of them, you have dark vision. So at the edge of your dark vision, you can see a fur-covered, hulking humanoid in armor carrying weapons. who is just charging in. Looks like they're going to just try to tackle Gristle to the ground. And then all of a sudden there is this puff of fog that envelops the area. Gristle, you are looking at this charging figure, and then just mist completely swallows you, and you are just now in a cloud.
I'm in the mist. Okay, got it.
Yes, you and this creature are now in this cloud.
Or both of us are in the mist.
Oh yeah, because it's a 20-foot cloud. So
okay,
it's
cool.
I
wasn't sure.
Bubble of you guys are
and
both.
the dog. Got it.
Yes.
Yep, and the dog. Yes, you are all three in this cloud. All right. And was that a 2-action spell?
Yes.
All right, so that would have been 1 to move, 2 for your spell, which takes us to.
Sorry, that is actually a 3. I'm gonna get attacked for it. It's a 3-action spell. So I would say that's at the end of my spell reach, because I do have that. Is extended.
So it is a 3-action spell.
3-action
So I would
spell.
say that so what I would allow for this is you can use your 1 action to move, 2 actions to begin casting this spell. On your next turn, you'll get 2 actions, but you'll complete the spell you just started. So that cloud hasn't formed just yet, but Gristle, you notice that like around your feet, there is now this rising fog that looks like it's about to envelop you,
Great.
the dog, and this charging, hulking figure. Great. So then we will now move to that creature's turn. And as the mist is like rising to swallow all of you up, he rushes in, drawing a long sword, and tries to hack at you.
But she didn't look so cool.
But with a 12, he's caught off guard. He's rushing, and it just clangs off the pauldron on your armor, harmlessly. With his third action, he'll try a second strike.
Okay.
And that is going to hit an armor class 15. So this time he comes in and you just sort of like almost catch his arm as he's swinging, disrupting his blow and causing him to go wide. After he is done with his bum rush, we go to Thee. Thee, from your vantage point, you can see what is happening down below you. Now that you've been pointed in the right direction, you heard that sound. You can now hear the grunts of and growling and yelling of battle down below you. What do you do?
So is it 1 action to get down quickly, probably 2 actions to get down safely, would you say?
I would say that you could just jump off, and if you can basically make an acrobatics check to try to land safely. It's not so tall that you wouldn't. If you failed that, you would take a little bit of falling damage and fall prone. If you want to climb down, climbing, you move. I would say it would cost you 2 actions to climb down, but it would be relatively easy to do because there's lots of handholds.
That's cooler.
Or like a Legolas slide down the flume.
Jeez.
Yeah, you want to slide down the flume. That's pretty good.
Can I still make an acrobatics if sliding on the flume, 1 action or 2?
1 action to slide down the flume.
Yeah. I still want to roll in acrobatics just 'cause
Sure, yeah. Roll acrobatics to see if you can just like surf down. You basically like jump on a log and try to surf the log down.
Hell yeah.
That's a dirty 20 total.
Yeah.
Dirty 20. You do it successfully. You just like you surf this log down the flume, leaping off at the bottom now at ground level, and come up running. Just like your movement, your momentum carries you forward, and now you are right next to Ingot, who is just in the midst of casting this spell. And you can still see in front of you these figures. You see Gristle and this.
About how far off is the figure?
At this point, you guys are like 40 feet away from the combat itself.
So I'm going to use another action to move another 30.
Yep.
And then I'm going to use my third action to quick draw and then fire with my short bow.
All right. Short
Nice.
bow.
So fast, Rogue.
That's a 19 total.
Nice.
19, and your arrow pierces this creature's armor You hear a grunt of pain.
For 5 piercing damage.
5 points of damage. Yeah, he takes the arrow. He's like, "Oh!" He looks around. He seems shocked to see that there are more of you. This is more than he bargained for. Not happy about it. But now we move to the next order in initiative. And you all are looking at this guy and you think we've got him surrounded. And then you start to hear some howling and growling as not 1, but 2 hellhounds.
Oh no!
Rush forward out of the darkness, charging not at Gristle, but at Ingot and Fee. One of them is going to just try to rush forward. It's actually going to have to take 2 actions to move to get close enough, but then it will use its 3rd action to try to bite Ingot. And that is going to hit an armor class of 25.
Well, you know that'll do it.
Which one of y'all said there were more? Who willed this into existence?
So this bite, as the jaws come down, there is a burst of flames. You take not only the piercing damage from the jaws, which is going to be 11 points of piercing damage, but there is a burst of flames. You take 2 points of fire damage and 2 more points of evil damage as just hellish energy flows from its jaws into your body.
Evil damage?
11 plus 4, a total of 15 points of damage.
Yikes. Is it really called evil damage?
It is literally evil damage.
That's so freaking
It is
cool.
listed as evil.
So awesome.
Yikes. Bad dog.
Oh my god.
Hellhound Dose has rushed up to Thea, again, taking 2 actions to get to him, and then leaping up with a bite. And that is going to hit an armor class of 22.
Yeah.
All right, Thea, that is going to be 8 points of piercing, 5 points of fire, and 1 point of evil damage.
Evil.
I'm fine taking that. That's dope as hell.
Let them meet me.
Like, I already like the game, but you sold me on the evil damage. You really did.
Yep. That's right, everybody. Evil damage. Hit your Pathfinder beginner box today.
Right.
Evil damage. All right. It took all 3 of their actions to rush up and then bite, so their turn is over, which takes us to Waverly's turn. Waverly, you can definitely hear the shouts of battle, and you hear the baying of hellhounds in the distance. What do you do?
I was gonna say Waverly's just content sitting on a box with her little light rock.
That's fine. I can't stop you from doing just that.
She's gonna get up and she's gonna go run over to where this is happening. Except I don't know how far away they are, and I would like to position myself to run up behind these guys. Not my party, but the enemies.
The enemies, I would say that you would probably have to use all 3 of your actions to get to your friends, and you wouldn't have enough to get behind them. But you could get up to the battle at least.
Then I will only take 2 actions to run as close as I can.
Okay, this basically puts you right at the log flume then, and you can see your friends fighting these hellhounds. You actually can't see Gristle because you can't see as far in the dark, but you can see like the light of the flames coming off of the hellhounds, and you can see them biting at Ingot and Fee.
All right, I'm gonna do a 3-action move then.
Okay.
3-action move.
You see that, you rush forward. Now the battle is joined.
I don't want to be right next to Ingot. I just want to clarify. I still want to be behind them a little bit, but
sure.
I would like to be closer. Yeah.
Sure. All right. Just give me a number of feet you want to be within this.
Like 60.
Well, you're already within. So if you get up to the flume, that puts you about 30 feet away from Ingot and Fee.
Okay,
so,
then I will stop at the flume with using 2 actions, and I will use my 3rd action to raise my shield.
Sure, shield's up. That makes a lot of sense. Perfect. Excellent. After Waverly, Gristle,
Yay.
you were caught off guard, but you're back in the action now. You've got this guy bearing down on you, and then you watch as these two hellhounds rush out of the darkness to attack your friends. What do you do?
Is it a free action to talk? Is that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Within a reasonable amount, like you can't have a discussion, but sure.
Sure. Hey, stop right there, creature or person. We are here. We are hired by this company to protect this land. And I don't know if you're maybe doing the same thing and this is a misunderstanding, but if you understand me, then stop attacking.
Okay.
And it works.
Do you want to attempt any kind of check with that?
Sure. Is that like diplomacy or?
I would allow diplomacy or intimidate.
Or intimidate. They're the same for me, so. I feel like I'm trying to say fact words, not I'm scaring you words. So let's do diplomacy.
Sure.
Okay, that is a 14. Is that anything?
Okay. Sure. You are like, stop, we're hired to protect this land. And he says, yeah, and I'm hired to kill you. So here we go.
All right, that's fine. I have 3 actions still done. Do I still have 3 actions or no? Because I rolled.
Because you attempted a check with it, that would have taken 1 of your actions.
Okay,
but
that's fair.
You do have 2 more.
Do I already have my sword out since I was patrolling? Or do I have to pick? Do I get to
last time the only reason I'm going to say no is because the last time you drew it before battle, you explicitly said, I'm drawing my sword before battle.
That's
this
fair.
time you didn't make that very clear,
I'm just trying to cheat. It's fine.
That's fine. Hey, everybody's got to try.
Am I close enough to be in melee range with him or no?
Oh yeah. He's up in your. He just tried to chop you in half.
Oh
so,
right, yeah. Right there. I forgot. Well, too bad then, buddy. I pull out my great sword. Not fire one. Don't want to deal with that again. And then I do one strike.
Yep. That
just
makes
checking
sense
if
to
I
me.
can do anything extra. That is a 14 to hit. Does that hit?
14 is a miss.
Doing nothing.
You hesitated a moment. You were like, you're trying to honor Waverly's desire to talk to these people first, and then you kind of get tangled up with like, when that doesn't work, you're like, well, I don't know, should I hit this guy? And you don't put your all into it. You can't quite bring him down with it. But.
Does the dog get to have a turn, or is that it's an action? Never mind. It's an action to command him.
So yeah, it takes one of your actions to give the dog 2 actions.
Right.
So you'd have to command the dog to do things. But on next turn, you could certainly have the dog try to bite or something like that.
It's fine. I had to do all that talking first. It's fine.
Hey, it's all good. It's all good. You tried, Gristle, and that's what's important.
I'm trying to be a better person for
They'll
Waverly.
put that on your tombstone when this guy cuts you down.
Oh, no.
Tried. Ingot, your spell goes off with the end of your first action. Now Gristle and this guy are both completely in this cloud of mist.
Right.
You can't really see them anymore, but they can't see you or each other in there. You can, however, see the hellhound that just bit your arm and looks like it wants to do the same again. So what do you do?
So the first action was spent making the obscuring mist go off.
Yes.
Second action, I'm going to cantrip raise my shield. Third action, cast a protective ward with my talisman that I've imbued it with.
That is going to catch Thee because he's right next to you. So you and Thee are in the current bubble, getting a +1 armor class bonus. Nice.
And Ingot's going to stand his ground.
Standing his ground, putting the defenses up. That's what Abjurists do. That's what you do. It is now this guy's turn in the mist, and he wants to attack, but now there's all this mist in his way. He can't really see you. You are concealed. What that means is that in order to attack you, he has to pass a DC 10 check. So on the die, a 7. So as the mist bubbles up around him, completely obscuring, now you can see like vague shapes in the mist as he tries to strike out at you. But that's all he sees as well. He strikes out. You hear a grunt of frustration as his sword whiffs through air.
Yes.
He is going to try one more time. So I have to pass that check. This time correcting and swinging right for you, but he still has to hit. So now I'm rolling a second attack against your armor class, hitting an armor class of 16. So
20,
you
baby.
parry the blow. This guy, you get the feeling that you might just be better at this than him. Like, his attacks, like, he's certainly a skilled fighter, but, he just doesn't, even after getting the jump on you, you just might be better at this than he is.
Can I yell as a reaction? You're not very good at this, are you?
This seems to just enrage, like he lets out a yell of rage and then tries to attack you again, even though this would certainly be with a -10 penalty. Miss.
Okay, good luck. Wishing you the best.
Provoke another attack, and he just whiffs, like not even striking in the right place as the mist conceals your position. So
Dang,
he just
so
wastes all 3 of his actions, striking futilely. That takes us next to Thee. Thee, what do you do?
Okay. Smart things are stupid. So I have a good general idea of where this figure is, just like ahead.
Yeah, you can't, like, you don't really see him right now. He's literally just like in this thick cloud. But you knew where he last was, and if he didn't move, if he's still right where he was, you can try to make a ranged attack at him. You will have to pass that DC 10 concealment check.
How far away would you say he was in the mist?
I mean, I would imagine that he's about 10. The cloud itself is 20 feet. I would imagine it's centered right on where he and Gristle are. So he's there would be about 10 feet of mist between the edge of the bubble and him.
All right, Inge don't die.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to go into the mist and take what would be a flanking position from where I remember he was standing, where Gristle was standing.
Yeah, sure. Just for kicks and giggles, just because the mist is a little disorienting, and it's certainly not going to be a difficult DC because you did have a good lay of the land. But as you enter the mist, why don't you roll me a perception check and see if you can get right where you wanted to be?
That's a 16.
16? Yeah, you remembering where he was and sort of judging the shapes in the mist, you managed to get into a position where you're pretty sure he's right in front of you and he's sandwiched between you and Gristle.
All right. And then I'm going to quick draw drop my short bow and then quick draw my short sword and swing.
Swing away. All right. You still have to pass that check because the mist is very thick. This spell is very effective. But, but you can do it.
Is it 10 and above?
Yep, 10 or above, flat check. And then if that, okay, great. That does it. That meets. So now you can make an attack. And he is flat-footed.
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
Ooh.
Alrighty then.
With Gristle flanking, do I also get my sneak attack?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what you get.
Excellent. All right, let's start rolling these dice. 12, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 22 points of damage.
22 points of damage. You just jab your short sword into this guy's kidney and he lets out a howl of pain. He didn't even know you had come up into the fray. And you feel like he twists his body around, like lashing out with his arm as you pull the knife free. But just like basically spinning around now, like, oh, you cowards, fight me.
I'm gonna take my second attack.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
You do as you're told. You fight him.
Yeah.
That's a 23.
23 is a hit.
All right.
He's a very good listener.
12 more points of damage. And may I like lean into his ear when I stab him the second time?
Yeah, in fact, as you stab him, like you feel his weight shift forward as he like crumples over your blade, and he like basically you pull him so that his ear, like he's almost like leaning on you as he's like slumping to the ground.
You may follow a mother of monsters, but I am a child of death.
Wait, don't kill me. I don't. And you look over and you can see like when he's this close to you, can see him, and like there's blood coming out of his mouth. He's like, wait, but then his eyes close and he is dying. So he's a dying one.
But he can still talk?
Oh no, now he's not anymore.
Oh.
Not anymore.
Well,
I yelled, we should save him. He did say he was hired.
We've got a dog problem.
okay, dogs
I was about to
first.
say, regardless of what you choose to do with this guy, the hellhounds, they still have some things to say about how this is going to go. And unfortunately for Ingot, there are 2 of them right next to him. And he's going to be in trouble as they flank him. They both shift using 1 action to flank him. So your armor class is at a -2.
Okay, so my abjuration bonuses were +2, so it's a wash, and I'm
so it
at a
cancels
16.
out.
Yeah.
He cancels out and he just got a normal AC. And it's a good thing you did, because my first total is a 15.
Yes.
So it's a good thing. Like
Yes.
like your wards are like sparking as the hellhound tries to bite you in the leg to drag you to the ground, and the wards protect your flesh. And there's the spark, and the howl like pulls back and shakes its head and darts in again, trying to bite. This time hitting an armor class even lower. Its second attack is even worse at 13. So
Amazing.
barely saved by the ward. However, its companion is also going to try to bite. That one is going to be a total of a 24.
That one hits.
So you're going to take a little bit of evil damage as well as some piercing and fire. Oh, that's bad news.
Oh no.
15 plus 7, 21 total points of damage. As this
Ingot stands
bites.
his ground.
But Ingot is tough.
Wow.
He is a tough cookie.
With, if you were to measure drops of blood, you could say he has 2 left, but he is there.
Oh no.
2 left.
Oh.
Well, this hellhound does happen to have 1 more action, and it is going to take its last action to bite. But with a weak roll and the second attack penalty, only going to total out to 12, and that is going to miss. Once again, teeth sparking off of the wards that are surrounding you. Oh, goodness. That was their turn. Not good for Ingot. Waverly, you can see that he is in quite a bit of trouble. But it is your turn. What do you do?
Are these hellhounds undead?
No. With what you know of hellhounds, rolling over your check from before, if you want to try to remember more information about hellhounds, you can make another recall knowledge check, but you know that they're just your basic knowledge of them, they're not undead.
Okay. I'm going. Oh, how close are they together?
Both on Ingot.
There's basically hellhound, Ingot, hellhound, so they're
Great.
within 10 feet of each other.
Cool. What I'm gonna do is roll my concealment check first, because I would like to cast a spell
Oh,
upon
but
these hellhounds.
they're not in the mist.
Oh, they're not. But I'm on the other
No.
side of the mist.
Mm-mm.
No, you're basically looking. You're at the flume right now, looking forward. You see Ingot and the hellhounds. Beyond him, you know there's a cloud, but you can't really see because like your vision doesn't extend that far.
Oh,
So you
okay.
can see Ingot just at the edge of where you can see things clearly. I would say that in the dark, without a light source, you do have a DC 5 check that you would have to pass to target. He has partial concealment,
Okay.
but
I
not
will-
the 10.
Oh.
Unless you want to unleash the light, which I don't know if you want to do that.
No,
Okay, so you want
But-
to stay in the dark. Yeah.
I'll roll my check to see if
Okay.
I have above a 5. I rolled a 6. I kid you
Okay,
not.
great. So yeah, you target.
I
What
would
are you
like-
targeting?
Yeah, I would like to attempt another sound burst,
Okay.
and I would like to have the 10-foot burst basically end at the hellhounds not hitting Ingot.
Well, you can hit one. If you want to catch both of the hellhounds, you have to hit Ingot. If you want to hit one, you can just target one. Like that's no problem.
Can
But
I
with the 10
damage him any further?
Ingot?
Oh yeah, you could absolutely kill him with a sound burst.
Oh, okay.
Ingot's
Never
not
mind.
looking great, by the way.
So yeah, it's one of those things where if you want to catch both hellhounds, because Ingot's between them, you can't avoid hitting him. If you want to just target one hellhound, though, you could just target it away from him.
Nah, I'm not gonna waste my spell. Instead, I will use my 2-action healing to attempt to restore some hit points to Ingot.
Reach out with the healing fires of Saren Ray.
Yep. And you're gonna get back plus 8 is 15.
Well, you can cast it at 2nd level now with your divine font. So when it's a 2nd level heal.
But then do I lose a 2nd level spell slot?
No, so your divine font gives you extra slots that are just healing. Like you have a number that it's like 1 plus your charisma modifier that they're only heal spells.
Yeah.
But they're extra on top of whatever you've memorized for the day.
Oh, I didn't realize that also meant 2nd level too. Okay, well.
Yeah. So now that you're level 3, your divine font spells cast at the 2nd level. So yeah, they're heightened to that level.
So that's going to be 14 plus 8, 20
plus 16. It's 2d8 plus 16 when
Oh,
you cast
14
it at
plus
2nd level.
16.
Yes.
So
It is significantly more powerful now.
Dang.
You live now.
Yes.
You're better.
All better.
You get 30 hit points back.
Yeah, I'm basically topped off. Ingot is like fighting fire and bites and stuff like that, and then all of a sudden he's like, I feel fantastic.
Cool. I like that.
Yes. You are much more effective at healing when you're using those 2nd level slots. And again, your divine font, when you gain access to a new level of spell, you heighten those healings basically to the highest level that you can. So yes, you are now casting. You have I'll look at your sheet later to tell you exactly how many heals you have,
3.
but they are at the 2d8 plus. Yeah.
I have been doing that. Yeah, I have been
Oh
doing
yeah.
that.
Okay.
I just didn't know
Cool.
it also rolled over for 2nd level.
Yes. They are now now cast as if they are heightened to 2nd level. So yes, they're way better. It's big time healing. And
It's in the
excellent use of
name.
your turn.
Oh, I'll use my 3rd and final action to move closer. I'd like to get just maybe a few feet closer.
Sure. I mean, there's 30 feet between you and Ingot. How many feet do you want to
I'll
put
move up
between
10
you and
feet.
Okay, so you're 20 feet away from them now. And now we move on to Gristle's turn. Now, Gristle, you are in the mist, but then you hear Thee has rushed up in the battle. You know this guy's dead because Thee's has this body. He's like laying it on the ground, and he's like, "Hey, maybe we shouldn't kill him. I don't know." But what do you want to do?
I guess put a pin in that, Thee. We got bigger, fiery problems over here. I want to move over to the hellhound closest to me.
Sure. Yeah. They're both about equidistant. So one move action will get you to either one, and they're both surrounding Ingot, who looks. As you're approaching it, like you can see blood and he's scorched, but then you see a light suffuse his wounds, and then all of a sudden he's just better before your eyes.
I just hear like angels going, ah.
Yeah.
Woo, Ingot, weird. Okay, I just go to the one that is slightly wounded already.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try power attack again.
Sure.
I don't know. I keep doing this. I keep failing. I'm gonna do it. Yes, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
You shoot power attack successfully a lot. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Not today, but okay. That is. That is a 21 this time.
Yeah,
finally.
21 does it. That hits.
Okay, so that is 2. That's a 10. Holy crap. Plus 2. That's 12 plus 3 is 15. Got it.
Yeah.
Damage.
A solid hit.
I slice it. It slice its tail off. It's sad.
Oh.
I feel weird about it, but I know I gotta
That's
do
very
it.
sad. You just see it. It's like, oh, my favorite tail.
Well, don't eat us. That Also, you can't talk. How dare you? I feel bad for you, fire thing. And then I'm gonna try. I have one action left. I guess.
You had to move. You
Yeah.
had to move up to the hellhound, and then.
Oh, that was 2. You're right.
So that actually.
I do nothing. I yell, "Your master's dead, hellhounds! Go home or whatever."
Go home or whatever. Here's the top of the next round, and Ingot, you were feeling real bad, and now real good.
Yeah.
And it looks like Gristle has joined the fray. What do you do?
I will spend one action to continue my protective ward and expand it, so now Gristle is included in the bubble.
Oh yes. Yep.
And then he's going to be re-embolstered by what Waverly did. So he'll give a little nod back to her as he's fighting these hounds, and then Ray of Frost, the trusty crystal.
There's one that Gristle just hit, and there's one that hasn't been touched. Which one are you going for?
The one that Gristle just hit has the one that's done a lot of damage to me, and so Ingot has a personal vendetta against that one.
Yes.
Ingot learned about revenge from Fee.
Yeah. Right. 7 plus my spell. Oh no. Oh, plus 9, so 16 to hit?
16 is a miss this time. As you unleash a Ray of Frost, the hellhound just dances to the side. It splatters harmlessly against the ground.
And that's it. That's a 2 action spell.
That's right, because you expanded the bubble, and then 2 actions for the spell. We move on to my turn. I'm dying, so I will make a check to see if this guy stabilizes or continues dying. And he is going to continue dying. He's just bleeding out in your arms, Thee. And it is your turn. You've got this guy, he's dying. You're not, I don't know if you're even sure if you care or not, but maybe you do. But you also know your friends are in danger, so what are you gonna do?
Grab a hold of the guy.
Yep.
I know what direction Waverly was, right?
Yeah, you know which direction everybody is basically back the way you came.
Cool. All right. I want to do this narratively, but if it would actually injure him because of who you are as a DM, I will say I don't do it.
I am.
But
what the rules of the game say.
I was gonna pick him up, but instead I think Thee would just drag him by his feet to Waverly.
Yeah, that's fine. You can drag him. I would say that you will move at with a 10-foot penalty to your speed while you're dragging him along.
That's fine.
But Waverly is a total of 60 feet away from you.
Cool. I'll use all 3 actions to get to Waverly.
Yeah, that works for me. Yeah, you just basically drag him back. Waverly, you see Thea emerge from the mist, dragging this armored figure right towards you, and there's blood just like spilling down this guy's chest, and Thea just drops the body in front of you.
He started talking. He started talking, and I think it was good things, so I didn't. But I also don't have Google, so I brought him to you.
Oh, I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. And then I think he realizes there's still hellhounds. That's what they're.
That you were so single-minded that you walked past the battle happening with the hellhounds dragging this person, and then
it's like, I guess I'll bring the dead guy to this thing, and big bug.
Speaking of hellhounds, they are unhappy. They would like to inflict death and pain, and so they're going to do their darndest to do that. One of them is going to turn its attention to Gristle, who just attacked it. You cut off his favorite tail. He's incredibly sad. He wants to cheer himself up by biting you, and he probably does it with a 25 total.
You do bite, yes.
All right, bites into you. You're going to take a little bit of that piercing, evil, and fire. Oh, there we go. 2 6s. Plus 9 is 21 points of damage. Just gets you right in the side, grinding its teeth into your armor. You hear the squeal of metal. You feel the flames and the evil energy sinking into your flesh. It's bad news. And then this creature is actually going to take a step away from you, and it is going to unleash its fiery breath.
Does the
Now-
step cause an action or no?
No, a step is actually a 5-foot movement that
Right.
doesn't trigger reactions. Since it doesn't move any further away, it
How
gets to
does
step
it know
without
but my
triggering.
reaction?
Because all it's concerned about doing is lining you up for a breath of flames. Unfortunately for it, it is only able to catch you in this cone. So you, Gristle, need to make a reflex save.
Okay. I have a +8. Let's do this. Nat 20! So that's
Yay! Critical success. You basically just flatten yourself to the ground. The flames pass harmlessly by overhead. You take no points of damage in an incredibly disappointing round for that hellhound. I still have one left though, and that hellhound is going to try to. It's like, hey, all those. I worked hard on tearing the flesh from your burning limbs, and now it's just back? I don't think so, the hellhound thinks as it lunges forward and tries to bite once again. And that is gonna
actually said it.
Yeah.
That is gonna hit armor class 26.
That'll do it.
All right. You're not flat-footed anymore.
Right. Okay.
So I don't think that is a critical hit because your armor class would now be 18, correct?
18. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's not a critical hit. If I'd kept flanking, I would be. Let's see. The evil, the flames. Ooh, and those are nasty numbers. That is going to be 22 points of damage as this thing sinks its jaws into you. Evil and flames everywhere. This one isn't even going to step anywhere. It is just going to shift its angle just a little bit. It is going to breathe flames, and this is going to catch you and Gristle.
Oh, geez.
So I'm going to need 2 reflex saves.
Okay.
Glad we weren't over there, babe. Damn.
14.
14 is a failure.
Oh no.
Crispy Gristle.
Because that means a 12 is also a failure.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
those are both failures. And those are some nasty numbers. 17, 21 points of fire damage as a gout of flame just washes over both of you. Now I will roll the D4s to see when they can breathe flames again. The first one gets a 3, so we got 3-round cooldown on the first one.
He'll be dead by then.
Second one is a 4, so if you guys act quickly, you may not face that fiery breath again. But if you don't, it might be barbecue for both of you.
Well, as Ingot is standing there and this flame comes over him, you can see that Ingot is standing his ground and then falls forward and starts to smoke. Ingot is out.
Why is that?
Dying one.
Mm-hmm. Which means
now Waverly's got decisions to make.
And also the AC bonus goes out from the protective ward
Oh
too.
no, that's right. You can't maintain concentration on that ward.
Would he
It
be dying
fizzles out.
too? Or did my healing rid him of wounded one? Oh no, you didn't die before.
I didn't die. Yeah.
He has yet to die, so he is at dying one.
Oh, God.
And
Oh gosh.
lying on the ground, smoking.
And then I have, as part of toughness, this is new, the DC of recovery checks is equal to 9 plus your dying condition value.
Right, so normally you would need 11 or higher on the die at dying one, but now you need 10 or higher on the die. So basically it gives you just that little bit of an edge. You're tough.
I'll take it.
You're tough. Yeah, it could very much mean the difference between life and death, quite literally.
Okay.
Alrighty. Speaking of Waverly's tough decision, you've got this hairy humanoid dying at your feet. You know it has answers that you need, but then you see Ingot go down in a gout of flame, and you can see that Gristle is not faring well either. You have decisions to make. What do you do?
I am going to reach in my bag and pull out a minor healing potion, and I'm going to pour it into this guy's mouth.
Sure.
And he's going to regain 8. Wow, 8 hit points.
All right.
And what I'm going to do is I still have my little light pebble. So I'm going to kind of hold it in his eyes so that way when he awakens, he's kind of blinded and stunned for a sec. And I want to say to him, and Waverly's never tried to intimidate someone before, but sorry, should I wait until he wakes up to say it, or? No,
I mean his eyes come open immediately. Okay. Like he's immediately restored to consciousness when he goes above 0.
So she's gonna say to him, you need to call off those dogs right now, or my friends won't let me heal you again, and I will have to listen to them.
Make an intimidate check.
Yeah. Intimidation.
Babies
Learn
first
from the
intimidate.
Best. Yeah.
Babies first intimidate.
That's only a 16.
Only a
That's
16.
pretty good.
He's like blinking and bleeding and groaning in pain. He says, "They're not my dogs. I can't tell them to do anything.
Oh.
They're not mine."
Well, crap.
Honestly, no lie, I'm sure that Thea was already aware of this, but he really wanted Waverly to have this moment.
This is good.
She tried.
It was really good, a good tactic. You can't fault the tactic there.
I feel like that's all my actions.
Hey, your friends still have hope. You may not have consigned them to their deaths. Maybe. Now it's up to Gristle.
Boy, don't like hearing that. I'm fine, totally fine. There's blood like everywhere. I've got very few hit points left. There are, am I correct? Are there 2 hellhounds left or just the 1 now?
There's 2 hellhounds.
Still
1 you've wounded,
one is
but it is still
rough. Up. Okay. I go to the wounded one because I got some.
You're at the wounded one. It's right in front of you.
Oh, that's right. I'm here. I'm here.
Actually, you would have to take a step because it had stepped back away from you to breathe flames on you.
That's an action. That's not fair.
Yeah.
Was the other one closer than me then? The one who's not?
No, the other one would actually be a little bit further away from you.
I hate it. Okay, fine. I waste a whole action stepping this 5 feet away from me when I could just kick it with my foot. Jump kick. I will do. Okay, I'm gonna try a regular attack, and then if it succeeds, I'm gonna try the intimidating strike.
Sure. Or the intimidating strike is a 2-action hit. So you can actually try that right now if you wanted to. You can just do the intimidating strike.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I thought I had to strike first and then do that. Okay, so I do that.
It's the brutish shove that's the follow-up one.
Okay,
so that's
very
the
confusing.
one that you. Yeah.
I try my new thing, intimidating strike. That's probably gonna be bad for all of us. I think I'm gonna die. That's a 12. That's 12. Hold on, hit.
I'm afraid 12's not quite good.
We're having so much trouble with these ones. And that's it. Those are all of my actions. All 3.
All 3 of the actions. It was that step that did it. That frustrating 1-action step.
I should just draw my stupid short bow at this point. Okay.
Ingot, you are on the ground, unconscious and dying. You got a DC 10 flat check. 10 on the die or higher.
It's a 4. Jib Jam, that's a 4.
You are at dying 2.
No.
Dying 2. The DC to stabilize is now 11 or higher. And we move on to the hellhounds' turns. One of them that just dropped Ingot turns to see Waverly and Thee and rushes over at the pair of you. Is gonna try to bite Waverly.
But I got their dad. Oh, not really.
I'm not their dad. I tried to tell you. I'm just paid to be here.
You just act like a dad for once in your life.
It's gonna be a 20 even to hit.
Oh.
Yes, of course I did.
All right. You're gonna feel a little bit of that evil damage.
No, not Waverly.
No.
Yes, Waverly. You take 14 total points of damage. That one not nearly as bad as some of the other bites that they've dished out. But now, the one that's right in front of Gristle is gonna make some very important attacks here.
Yep.
This side a lot.
Make or break me, my friends.
It lunges forward, teeth bared. Oh, that is a leaner. That is a 22 to hit.
Am I still in the protection field? No, because he's dead.
No, he's down.
He's dead.
Not dead yet.
He's two times swooned, whatever. He hits because my AC is only 20 now. This is it. Gristle again.
Gristle. 17 points.
Yeah, that's so bad. Those. Okay, it's fine. This is gonna be great.
Unconscious and at dying 1.
Yes. It's cool though, because my ancestry ability is Die Hard. I love that name.
That's right.
Ooh.
I die at dying 5 instead of dying 4, so I'm fine.
That's right. I forgot. You guys are tough to kill.
I'm so glad it's 4 and not 3. Whew.
Yeah.
Waverly,
Oh,
things are
you're
getting.
done with your. Okay. I thought your dog had another action.
That's a fair point. That it did just bite once. So
You know
I
what,
guess
Jim?
what it
I'll
will
allow it this time.
I guess by the rules of the game, it gets to charge in at Thee. So now Waverly and Thee both facing off against one of these hellhounds.
You got it.
Waverly.
The TPK is really real here.
All right.
It's getting serious.
My turn.
It is your turn, Waverly.
I am going to cast a sound burst. I want to catch these 2 hellhounds.
Okay.
Can I do it without hitting Thee?
Yes.
Cool.
Because they're both in front of you guys. So you're not sandwiched between them like Ingot was before.
I need you to roll low. That's going to be a fortitude save for your dogs. And I need you to just roll real low. Real bad.
That'd be great.
Just like, just below
Puppy number 1. Innocent, sweet little puppy number 1.
innocent.
Rolls a total of 18.
That's a miss!
That
Okay.
is a failure
That's
for
a
Hellhound
failure.
number 1.
And
Hellhound number 2 gets a total of a 14. So that is 2 failures against the sound burst.
okay, you're gonna take full damage, and both of your hellhounds are gonna be deafened for 1 round.
Deafened for 1 round.
Yep. Here we
All
go.
right.
Please roll high, please. 18.
18 points
18
of damage.
points of
Yes! Yes!
Ow. Ow. Their faces, like one of them, his jaw almost just shatters. The one that Gristle has already struck.
Okay.
It is still up, but it is like
No.
shaking, nearly like just obliterated by this burst of sound. The other one is as of yet untouched, and it is swaying and like howling in pain. Both of them taking a brutal blow. But they are still both up. One of them you can see very clearly, just like blood dripping everywhere now. Ash just falling from its body in a constant stream, but it is still up. The other one, wounded, definitely a solid wound, but it had not been touched yet. So, excellent spell. Dang, I believe you have 1 action left.
Oh, I'm going to. Oh God. Because it's not next to me yet. Oh yeah, because it just bit me.
Yeah,
huh?
they ran up to you. Yeah.
Shoot. I guess I'll raise my shield.
Shield is up.
Yeah,
Shield is up.
that damage down.
Good hit.
Thanks,
Good
2d10,
hit.
2d10. I got an 8
Yeah.
and a 10. I was like, oh my God.
Serious damage. Gristle, you're dying. You just fell this round. I don't recall the exact ruling, but I'm not going to have you make a dying check until next. Since you just fell, on the next time we come around to you, I'll have you make your first dying check.
Okay.
So we move to the top of the round where Ingot,
I didn't go.
buddy.
Oh, yeah, Thee.
Oh wait, that's Thee. Or you go. You're right after Ingot. Did I skip you entirely this round?
Yes.
Okay,
Oh.
then take your turn. That was my bad.
You could have saved me.
I'm going to activate my short sword and send a bolt of lightning
Yes.
Ooh.
at the more injured one. Just
I believe you can arc it to 2 targets, can you not?
yes, I can. That's
Oh.
true. Yep. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna do
so
it
I mean,
both.
like, you could hit them both.
Yeah, let's do
You
it.
don't need to target just the one. You can hit them both. They're both going to have to make a reflex save. The super injured one, that reflex save is looking like a 17.
That's a fail.
Failure for the injured one. The other one is a 23.
That's a pass.
Passes, so that's still half damage. So go ahead and roll it for me.
All right. That is 9 points of lightning.
9 points of damage. The one that was nearly obliterated by the sonic strike now gets blasted with lightning, and just when the flash of light clears from your eyes, there's just a smoking pile of ash where this hellhound stood moments before. The other one takes half of that, is badly wounded, but is still kicking.
All right. So after
And it's
that
only one
burst
action to do that, so you have
After that burst of lightning goes around, he's going to like almost pirouette spin and then bring his sword around to try and take a swing.
Cool.
All right, make your attack.
All right. That's a lot. That's a 29.
Yeah, 29 is in fact a critical hit.
Yay.
Yeah, that's what I like. It's 14 points of damage.
Whew, ooh, buddy. Yeah, this thing is still kicking, but it's looking just as bad as that first one was right before you obliterated it with lightning.
And I have my second attack.
Nice.
So let's go ahead and do
All right.
That one's a 23.
What was that? I'm sorry.
23 to hit.
23 hits.
Yep. Max 6 plus 4, so that is 10 points of slashing damage.
10 points of damage is enough to send this thing right back to the hells from which it came. It disappears in a blast of noxious smoke and cinders and sparks swirling up into the air. The dangers have passed, but your friends are still dying, and we've come to the end of our episode. Their fates will be decided next week on Troubles in Otari, because we're out of here for now. Ooh,
Fine. This is
Oh
fine.
my gosh.
I couldn't help it. It was just, couldn't help it.
Good.
Had to
Good
do
place.
it. Had to do it.
Oof.
Excellent job pulling that fight out, though. I wasn't sure how that was going to go once
Yeah, we
Gristle
weren't
and
either.
Ingot were down. Oh,
Yeah.
man, that looked dire.
Jim,
We did
what,
so well against the first hellhound. I was like,
I
oh,
know.
God. Nope.
yeah. What
You guys
happens?
whooped the first one.
What happens if we all became dying one and there was no one else around to help us?
The dog saves us.
The
Dog.
answer is we roll up new characters.
Oh, no.
Episodes of Trouble in Otari.
No, I'm pretty sure Sam would go get like a bottle of healing from Katie's waist, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dog would save us.
Oh, everybody, this was a lot of fun. Thanks for playing and having a good time with me. I enjoy it every week. All of you out there watching, thanks for tuning in. Paizo, thanks for hosting us. It is a blast playing through the beginner box and the follow-up adventure. If you guys want to have just as much fun as we're having, go to paizo.com, pick up that beginner box for yourself, and start your own awesome adventure. Those of you watching, do not worry. I'm not revealing all of the secrets in these adventures. I've left plenty of surprises for you and your friends to run through. You don't know all the tricks that Paizo has up their sleeve for you. But I can tell you, it's all a fantastic time. We will be back next week for our 9th episode. The week after that, our 10th and final episode. That is right, there are only 2 more weeks after tonight. Will these epic heroes be able to figure out what is going on? Is there a cult of Lamashtu in the area? Will they be able to stop them? Will Ingot even survive the next 30 seconds before bleeding out because Waverly chose not to heal him? that just might be the way it goes. We
Gonna heal him. You calm down.
We will find that out next week, but make sure that you tune in for the next 2 episodes because they are going to be just as epic as the last 8 we have done. It has been such a blast playing. We will see you next week right here on Paizo's Twitch. I was going to say Paizo's Twitch, and it was really weird. Paizo's Twitch. We will be back next week. Goodbye, everybody. Good night. Goodbye.